actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, any last wish before you die? Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, fill your claw, you son of a bitch. Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Peace, brothers. Peace, man.
Hey, you look like you had three Stooges syndrome there.
We got peace, man.
You know why this is Three Stooges syndrome?
I don't know, man. No, man. So I got protection, man. Seriously, I got protection. What's that, people? Well, I got 2 pairs of sunglasses. I need to know you in business. How's that, huh? How you like that? Because I want to. Yeah. Because I got this new light in here. It's like, whoa, what the hell, man?
It is awfully bright in there all of a sudden now.
I know, man. We're going to have to work on that. I think it needs to be further back. Well, it's for another camera, which I don't have on right now, but it's what it's set up for. Welcome, everyone.
I can see it reflected on the right above the Earth book. You can see it glaring in the picture behind you.
Y'all are weirdos. Weirdos. No, the camera's over there, man. You can't see the damn camera. It's not even in the shot. It's what's that, G? There's all kinds of stuff. Actually, we're gonna be giving some of this away pretty soon because we got new stuff coming in, and whatever is collectible will go on the other shelf, and that will stay just the way it is. Yes. Who said who? Oh, you mean what's his name from? He's black, man. I'm white. How you can't even say that? Samuel L. Jackson. No, he plays? I know what you're talking about because he gets his eye ripped out by the Flurker, whatever the hell thing's called in Marvel. Yes, I've seen the damn thing. I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of his name right now. Whatever, he was the boss. Yeah, he's the guy who ran the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was the big boss. Not Coulson. Yeah, not Coulson, another guy.
No, not Coulson. Colonel.
I don't know what his name was, but
that's his. No, it's not his name. It's his rank.
Yeah,
he was Colonel something or other. I can't remember now. Yeah, it's
Fury, something like this. They called him Fury. I remember that much. I look like a Fury. What do you think? I got like glowing eyes behind these. Like, shit is coming first. I'm gonna start with y'all wusses in Europe fucking first. God, what happened, guys? You got your asses kicked in World War II, and now you become so dependent on the United States you can't even launch a fucking boat. I mean, come on. So let me
What
get this
happened?
straight. So wait. So first off, Britain's island, whatever, got attacked, and so all right,
Hey,
Britain's
Heidi.
got 3 ships, 4 ships out there. They're going to get one out there and go. 3 of them can't even go because it's so far into maintenance that they can't. I guess they can't even start that hunk of craps. The other one is just so bad off. There's no reason to send it and just get its ass kicked. One of this was, I think it was a carrier. It was pathetic. So France said, okay, we'll send a boat. But France couldn't send air support because they didn't have enough fueling tankers to get it from, it was only like 5,000 miles round trip or something. Yeah, it's pretty sad, guys. It was, and that's not the worst. It was worse than that. And then Germany comes out and says, oh, we only have a third of the fighters we thought we had. Well, what the fuck do you mean a third of the fighters? That's like the learning programs for Minnesota, a third of what? No, give me a fucking break here. So Europe, now I couldn't understand why Putin was all like, yeah, let me go kick Europe's ass. I can take Europe. Let me go kick. Now I understand it. He thinks you're a bunch of wusses. For your responses lately, I got to say, you're looking pretty bad. I mean, I remember when Trump told the chancellor, he said, look, he said, we don't need you to go do what we're going to do. We didn't really need you doing Desert Storm. I mean, it's nice to have y'all there, but really and truly, y'all were just there for the glory. We were there doing the work, and which, of course, pissed them off really bad. You can't blame them because they lost a lot of people over there, too. But I mean, not a lot, but some. But still, they really were, and Trump's proving that right now. What do we need them for? If we decide we're going to put ground troops in, we'll put our own troops in. They'd probably be better off for it. No, because they're not doing anything. That's why your boy over at NATO said,
"Look, you spelled Russia wrong."
Huh?
You spelled Russia wrong on the ticker tape.
Oh, that's the which one? Why did I put the ticker tape? Oh, I put it right there. Yeah, you copied it. Yeah, you copied it. There's no I in it. Well, how come spell catching? Shame when you spell correct. I thought, you know what? I'm finding out that AI is a lot dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Alexa's gotten stupid now. She's constantly telling me.
They've gotten sassy.
Yeah, well, I don't mind sassy when she's smart, but now she's stupid and sassy.
Yeah.
She reminds me of one of them toothless crackheads, man. I don't know about that. What about that? I don't have the information. I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, I asked a simple question, too, like this morning. I said something about J.D. Vance. And she's going on. I can't answer. I said, you don't know who J.D. Vance is? Well, J.D. Vance is vice president. Why didn't you answer the question then? And what question? I give her a question, and she just goes off on some other rant somewhere. It's got to remember, people, AI is only as smart as we are. People forget that. You know, it's artificial intelligence, but it's learning from us.
Yes.
And all of our programs and all of our mistakes and all of our
and also don't forget, it started off being programmed. It's only as smart as the dumbest person who worked on its programming. Period.
Got somebody with an IQ about 120 somewhere.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean they're smart. Just means they know how to use what information they got. Doesn't make them smart.
Yeah, actually, very like my glasses. I mean,
well, you kind of got the I forget the character's name, but it was it Lloyd Bridges character?
Oh, shoot, you called me Lloyd Bridges. Where the fucking gun at?
Well, he wasn't he the guy in the airplane that pulled off? He was like pulled off a pair of glasses, then he pulled off another pair of sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I could do that. I got a cup here on.
Classic comedy, man. Classic comedy.
Oh, you're talking about that. Oh yes, that is red.
Earth.
And right next to it, that is blue. Right over here is green, and up there is black.
Ink.
Yeah. The cologne is racist. What can I say? The black one's up there by itself. I don't know why. Well, I mean, the green guy's over here by himself. The alien. It's just the red and the red and the who? The red and the blue. Yeah, they like each other, like on the flag. They like each other. That was sent to me by a listener. It's cologne. Yeah, it's red, blue, green, and black. That's what it's called. Yes, that's cologne. I'm gonna give it away. I was gonna give away the whole set, and I said, that's 4 of them. I'll give 4 of them away. Every time I give a book away, I'll send one along. I'm pretty sure it's guys' cologne. Smell like kind of hate cologne. Let me see. What's the green? Green, infamous. Oh, infamous. I might like infamous now. That's not bad. Kind of smells like you just got out the tub or something. Okay, I can live with it. I guess. No, I can take what kind of. do like. Well, I'm not a big cologne wearer, by the way, but there are colognes that I like. When I was young, I used to like Pierre Cardin. Yeah. A nice, sweet smell, but then they changed the formula. And then there was Jordan came out with this thing called Sex Appeal. Oh my God, girls love that stuff. You put that shit on you like candy.
Well, in the 80s, the big fragrance for men anyway was Paco Rabanne. Like, was it number 4? I think number 4 or number 6, something like that.
No, there was a couple. That's really I only liked about 3 or 4. And you know, that's funny you said it, Elizabeth. My mom was a big fan of Joy. And so she had this big bottle of this shit, number 4, Chanel number 4, actually. And we were in there just kind of putting it all over everything. Shit was like $500 an ounce back then. I was like, oh, my mom's like, why is a quarter of my bottle going? Because, you know, she like put it on the little thing and put the stuff. And that shit was potent. She'd go out party all night, come back still smelling like. Yeah, she wasn't real happy with us. We probably wasted about $400, maybe $600 worth of perfume. No, my daughter asked us one time to get her something called Flowers. I don't know where we got it from. It was around. It was pretty popular at the time, but I think we picked it up like at one of the big department store chains, DH Homes, or no, it wasn't Penny's. A little bit more sophisticated than that, but oh, you're rarely smelling me wearing cologne. Very rare. Special events, baby. That's it. First dates. What are you talking about? You're an idiot. Anyway, welcome to News and Flipside. I hope everybody really did have a good Friday today. I know it's kind of late. A couple of y'all had a couple of cocktails now, and let's not get started on why we call it cocktails. Oh, by the way, we will be talking some food tomorrow because Mia, you sent me some really whopping big-ass monster sandwiches and some pizzas. We're going to feature on the show tomorrow.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so, yeah, no, I can't.
But did you say sandwiches and
sandwiches?
Pizza?
Yeah,
sandwiches and pizza. Awesome. I like sandwiches.
What's a sandwich?
It's the same thing as a sandwich. It's just
it's a sandwich with a different letter.
Who is it that says it? It's one of the. I think it's one of the Peanuts kids that says sandwich. Might be Peppermint Patty.
Yes.
I don't know.
Gene, no, actually I did see what happened to plane. So far they're basically, it sounds like they're going to pull off mechanical errors, what it sounded like. All 6 pilots are dead. But I mean, it hit the other plane, so I don't know how exactly they're going to work that out. No, it wasn't from friendly fire. It wasn't from enemy fire. It was just something went awry. Oh, well, no. You mean the kids? The 150 kids? You know, okay, first off, very first day I seen the guy on TV in Iran talking about the kids, it was 25 kids. It was 75 kids. And it was 100 kids. It was 125. Now it's 150. Every time I turn on a fucking TV, this thing grows. Well, I don't know. And then there's the other problem, okay? This is the military base. This is the schools. And Americans did not know that school was there. It was not in their plans because when they got the plans, it was not there. If we did it, Pete Hastag said he's still not 100% sure that we did hit it. We'll wait and see. They're pretty good about telling the truth most of the time. Things like this is we're in a little mini war.
But this is part of the problem that we've discussed it on this show and other shows for how many years we've been talking about this stuff. No, that's the problem. These are cowards. They hide behind civilian infrastructure and civilian hostages, and then it makes the guy on the other end shooting the gun. You know, he's like, I can't shoot. He's holding a kid. You know, and if you could shoot through the kid and not hurt the kid, you would do it, but you can't. So it just there's going to be, you know, when you make, what do they say? When you make an omelet, you're going to have to break some eggs. So, I mean, there's going to be some unfortunate losses. Kind of sucks, but this is what happens when, dictators go out of control.
Well, look what was going on in Palestine. They were hiding in schools. They were hiding in hospitals. And when you do that, I mean, you still got to go get them. So, I mean, somebody's going to die. I mean, they're putting the kids in jeopardy, not the Israelis. I mean, but we're not gonna let you stay there just because you're hiding behind kids. That's not gonna happen. We're gonna be like, F you, buddy. It sucks that any children. It sucks that anybody's gonna die. Well, now you gotta love the news. You just gotta love the news. So, the son's the one who took over, right? Supposed to be 5 times as bad. Blah 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 blah
Yep.
blah.
5 times as bad and twice as impotent.
Oh, hey, I didn't even see in there. So anyway, first day, boom, they strafe him. Reports he got shrapnel all up his leg, and here's some people say hit him in the face. Now the media says, "Oh, look, he made this speech." He did not.
It's AI. Oh, then they gave him a new title today. Did you hear about that?
No, what kind of title they gave? Suck my weenie title?
No. After his latest speech, they call him the Ayatollah.
That's the highest you can go, anyway. Ayatollah Khomeini. It's
yeah. Well, what they were saying is that what he did was, or what the regime did, maybe not necessarily him. They AI'd a message from him. The rumor is that he is missing a leg, has
and in a coma,
has been hit, or has perhaps had some head damage, and is in a coma as a result of that. Either the leg damage or the brain damage or both, combination of both. And who said it? I think on Fox was Gutfeld on, like, I don't know, Monday or Tuesdays or whenever we found out. He's like, they've announced the new Ayatollah, and they made the announcement today, and then I hear the funeral is on Wednesday. So I would not be surprised by Wednesday this week we see a funeral for the next Ayatollah.
I mean,
excuse me.
British MI6 put out that he had lost a leg and he was in a coma. Another media in the Middle East put out that he had a lot of leg damage. It looked like they were going to have to take his leg, and he had facial damage. That's why he didn't do the speech himself. But the problem with this is first off, even the crazy Muslims don't want to hear AI. They want to see your boy up there. They're like, you got to reinsure it. And then there's another problem that was brought to my attention, that not everyone agrees with this choice because he wasn't picked by the clerics. He was picked by the guard. Remember, all the fucking clerics are dead. They killed 130 of them now, 140 of them. They killed,
I think it's 140. In that
40
range.
the first day, 80 the second day.
It's not just the number, Joe. It's the level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like
these are the guys
tier, it's the first tier of leadership, the second tier, and the third tier. We're on to the fourth quarter, the fourth.
These were the guys who picked their leader. They're all dead.
Yeah.
The guys who actually picked who he so.
The like, mullahs, as they call them, I guess.
And then everybody's like, well, who picked him? And then, of course, it sounds like the guard picked him. The Iranian guard. So
the IRCG, yes.
Yeah. Well, he was part of it. I mean, he was kind of part of it, yeah. I guess his dad let him run part of it or something. Yeah, they were talking about it the other day. But he's already looking like he's dead. And this is the problem for anybody who's going to be leader there. You're going to have a hard time leading when you can't show your face, or you're going from a basement, because after a while, people are just going to think you're a coward.
I think it's a little bit of a broad statement, Joe, but I agree with it in part. Basically, it's going to come down like this: whoever they pick to pick up the mantle and carry this government onward to whatever it eventually becomes. I have a feeling if Trump doesn't like that person is going to get his ass bombed out of existence until they put someone up there that Trump does like. So they don't seem like they have much bargaining chips on their end of things. But they keep threatening us with this, new tactic that we're not aware of, and this wonderful weapon that they've had that we don't think that they have, but that they're hiding. I'm tired of the rhetoric. I can't wait.
Hey, look, I like the cluster bomb, man. The cluster bomb was pretty badass.
The cluster bomb was pretty badass. I mean, their third and fourth tier level leadership is gone, and they're still going, hell bent for leather. I think at some point Trump's going to have to realize it's time to just, tell the people that you want to survive, get out of the country and just nuclear fire clean it.
Well, you know what? If somebody takes a pot shot at Trump or something crazy happens over here, they might. I'm more worried.
I'll bet if they use chemical weapons, he will.
I'm more worried about him doing like a dirty bomb on Saudi Arabia, somewhere like that.
They have 11 units, enough of which to make it.
They said they had 1,000 pound. They said they had 1,000 pounds of 60% enriched uranium. That's what they said.
I think it was 1,100 pounds. Yeah, enough to make 11 bombs.
Yeah, 1,100 pounds. Yeah, it's it's a lot of bombs, man. And they're not going to do it like that. They're going to do like that little cluster bomb thing. They have little round little bombs with X amount in it, and they're going to fall out all over the place.
If they have enough to make 1,100 kiloton bombs, or 11 whatever that weight comes down to, my math is terrible. They can break it down even smaller. I mean, they could make hand grenade sized devices, or maybe not that small, maybe a briefcase sized device that they could easily walk into a train station and airport, and before they get to security, just go click, boom.
But any type of bomb like that, small, even a small one, is going to contaminate a nice little area. When you're talking about how they do it right now with the 8-mile drop, and say each one's like 50 pounds, it's going to do a lot of contamination. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
You got to remember, people, once the wind starts blowing, that shit's going to go everywhere. People are going to get it all over them. It's going to kill a lot of people. It's
going to be like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hiroshima and Nagasaki didn't really, the physical explosions and the bombs going off themselves didn't really, and the fire itself didn't really kill a lot of people, because most of the civilians were, not in the city. So not everybody died right away. But the numbers, I mean, it's 130,000, 140, 50,000 per each city, something like that. After effects of the radiation that died years, days, months, weeks, years later.
The first one was about 140,000 plus deaths going down, but was it Hiroshima, Nagasaki? They missed the target. It landed in the valley next to the city. Oh no, don't get me wrong. It still killed a lot of people. Oh no, people. It killed like 50,000 people. It just didn't kill what it was designed to kill. And they didn't let that out until recent times.
Yeah,
that's how being classified that was. Okay. Here's one for y'all. So. What's his name? Winston Churchill. Y'all know who Winston Churchill is. And y'all know Coventry, England. You ever heard of Coventry, England? So in World War II, the Germans had ordered an attack on Coventry, a pretty hardcore bombing run, right? But what no one knew at the time is the Brits had broke the Enigma machine. That's where the Germans sent messages. They translated.
Yes, it was an encrypting device.
It was an encrypting device. So if the English would have sent someone there to back them up, well, the Germans would have surely known we had their device. So this was, all this was pending because D-Day and all was coming up. So they allowed the city to be bombed without saying a word. And there was a lot of people died that night. It was completely preventable because they could have sent planes in. They could have sent ground troops in. They didn't. They wanted it to look like it was a total surprise. And to the people, it was a total surprise. To the government, it wasn't. Our government makes those kind of decisions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that same point, on the Pacific side of the theater, and this was the retribution for Pearl Harbor. There was I forget the guy's name, but he was a captain, and he was in charge of the encryption device or the decryption services on Hawaii, and he had been tracking messages leading up to. Oh God, the big one in July. What was that battle? Oh, Battle of Midway.
Yeah,
He'd been picking up messages for months about some sort of objective AF or objective HO, something to that effect. This weird code words that he couldn't pin down what they were. And Admiral Nimitz said, "Well, why don't you deliver this handwritten message to Midway and have them transmit it in their regular transmissions to the mainland to let us know how their progress is." And the message was something like their freshwater filter was going wonky and wasn't working, or something to that effect. And when they broadcast that, there was a message that went out from Kwajalein Island or Kwajalein Atoll where the Japanese were listening to our stuff. They sent their encrypted message, which we knew we'd beaten their encryption already. And the message said something about objective AF or objective HO, whichever the abbreviation was, is having trouble with its freshwater filters. So now they knew what the big hubbaloo was with the Japanese Navy. And without that information, without having broken that code, well, I'm pretty sure at least the western half of America would be Japanese property right now.
Yeah, they couldn't have held the country because they don't have the people to do it. But they could have got
Probably
inland.
not, but
They could have got
Germany-
inland, but
but
eventually.
if Germany had won the other side, it would have been a different story altogether, I think so. But in
Well,
any event, just having that kind of foreknowledge, yeah, I mean, just think about having knowledge that they're gonna bomb, New York City, but we can't let them know we know this, or then we won't be able to like find out what their next big objective is. It's a tough decision.
it's a tough one. I mean, you can't. It's a lot of people going to die, but you can't let you know because you get bigger plans. Because you got to win the war, people. Well, the way the problem for the Japanese and the Germans is America just went apeshit into producing stuff. I mean, they would just produce it at such a rate that eventually it was just too much. It was just overwhelming.
It was to the point. We had toy companies building 45 caliber stamped metal one-shot pistols to drop into occupied territories to our occupied allies to have them pick them up and shoot Germans with them.
Well, there was a
Imagine getting that. The Whammo Frisbee comes in with a 45 caliber gun.
They had a lot of stuff we used to drop behind the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Then they would drop a lot of chocolate, nylons, and stuff.
Propaganda.
Propaganda. Stuff that they could trade and get stuff for. Weapons anytime they could. Radio equipment when they could. Well, they needed an insurgency. We wanted the Germans fighting on more than one front. We wanted them having to worry about their back is what we wanted.
Well, and that was kind of the problem. They were only fighting on the one front, pushing towards England, because they had a treaty with Russia up until the point of I think it was spring of 41. No, I'm sorry, the winter of 41 when he decided to attack St. Petersburg, and that's when it all went tits up. Had he not attacked his at that time ally Russia was only marginally involved, and then they were only as far as they were involved and concerned with was on the Japanese theater in the Pacific. They could care less what was happening really in Europe unless it affected their borders. But it wouldn't, because they had a treaty with Hitler. Hitler broke that treaty, and what he did is essentially he opened up the back door and turned himself into from a one front fight to a two front fight, and that's why they lost.
What's that, Jimmy? Yeah, Hitler would have lost no matter what, but that made it a lot faster. It's no, once they landed at Normandy and at I forgot the other one, it was over for Hitler. It was over.
Omaha Beach is the other one.
It was too much.
It was actually 3 beaches, though.
Yeah, it was an overwhelming force, and then their force that they have used as a diversion. I forgot what's his name. Really famous general was running it because he had gotten his ass in trouble for slapping 2 boys or something. But anyway, he was supposed to be the diversion. Son of a bitch goes inland like 30, 40 miles, way faster than he was supposed to. Just the Germans didn't even know what to do. Plus, they were redeploying for other reasons, and then they couldn't pull any extra troops because the rest were getting ready to mess with Russia. I don't know what Hitler was thinking there. You just his planes were fooled with essentially cardboard cutouts of like tanks and infantry carriers, like on another beach somewhere near I think Brussels or near the country of Belgium. And so this also it was just cardboard cutouts. I mean, think about that. You use cardboard cutouts and it fools a professional army, fighter pilot flying over. Yeah, think about this. Just 3 days ago, F-22 bombed a painted shadow on the ground.
Really?
Oh yes, yeah, blew a big ass hole in the middle of it too, but it wasn't a real airplane.
Huh?
I imagine some little pilots getting his
better safe than sorry, I guess, right?
All I can think is he was not using any of his forward radar system at all.
Yeah,
they would have identified if it was an airplane
or the ground or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it would have been, radar bounces off signals. You can make it out. It was just hitting a smooth ground. It was just painted. There was a bunch of them painted in a row like they were parked. And from high up in the air, it probably did look like they were real. But the guy, the TV guy went and zoomed up on them. And of course, you could tell they were fake after that black shadow planes. Yeah, I seen him blow a poor F-4 Phantom out the sky yesterday. Poor baby.
Oh, we lost the Phantom today or yesterday?
They lost the Phantom.
Who?
Iran.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we don't have Phantoms. Well, we still got training Phantoms. We don't have them for anything.
We still have them. They're just not frontline.
No, they just strictly training now. Yeah, that's all they do. And the Tomcat, James, they don't have many of them left. The Tomcat was a really good plane, but it was a really expensive plane.
I think we lost 3 of them at the hands of Kuwait last week, didn't we?
What?
We lost 3 Tomcats. We lost 3 Tomcats by friendly fire in Kuwait last week.
No, we're not flying any F-14s. We're flying F-15s, but we're not flying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Strike Eagle. Whoops. Yeah. So I always get them 2 mixed up. So
because they look exactly the same. They're
pretty much, yeah.
The only real difference I know in them 2 planes is its wings don't
swept wing and not swept wing,
and it doesn't have the hand crank wing, so you can go ballistic. Other than that, I don't know if there's any difference between them 2 jets. They look just like brother and sister. The F-15's a newer of the 2, yeah, Jack. And the F-14, the Navy got rid of because it was really expensive upkeep on it.
Yes, that's why we gave it to the Israelis, because they're rich.
And I don't think there's many of them flying anymore, but they're cool aircraft.
Well, no, we've
been replacing them.
That's what the Iran and Iraqi air forces are made out of. They're made out of our stuff for the most part.
And so we've been replacing them with F-16s for people. The Iranians had some Su-29s.
Yeah, and they had some F-15s as well.
Not in today's theater. An Su-39 is not going to do jack in today's. 29 is not going to do jack in today's. Even F-16 will take it out. F-16s are beastified as long as they're not going up against a stealth plane. They're beast.
Well, the Su Sukhov 229, if I'm not mistaken, it has a conical front end and a singular engine down the center of the hull, right?
I don't remember. I don't remember what it looks like. I always thought the SUs were always twin engines, but that could just be missed.
Let me look. SU
always be missed. Well, we're going to talk about why Trump. Can you make sense of the madness of Trump? Can you? Well, we're going to go to break before we do that, but we're going to.
Well, it looks like a civilian plane, the Sukhoi 29. That can't be right.
Yeah. No, there's something about the SUs that always got a little something they carry over from plane to plane. So I'll tell you a little secret. This is classified above top secret. This is serious.
Yeah, no. So the MiG-29 looks identical to the F-25, F-15 rather, F-15.
That makes sense. Twin tail, yeah, makes sense.
Twin tail.
Maybe that's what it was. I thought it said SU, but it's what do you mean? So I'm gonna tell you a secret. Okay, y'all can't tell this to anybody. All right, don't get me in trouble. So when there's a ship that's going to be replaced by a ship with its same name, they take a certain part of the ship out and then they place it somewhere in the new ship. Yes, somewhere deep in the heart of the new ship. Yes, I know where. I can't tell you that. You're giving me deep shit for that.
I know where it is. I'm not going to tell you.
It's cool, though. It's just a cool thing that people do. Well, we'll do that when we start doing space, too. I will imagine most of the rules in space will be Navy rules, but I'm sure the Air Force is going to try to have its own thing. But unfortunately for both them and the Navy, it's going to be, you got to listen to Space Command. Ta-da. Yeah, Space Command. What the fuck do you mean you don't know what Space Command is? I'm just going to leave that all alone. We're not even going to talk about that. And sometimes that's true. And
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Sometimes that's where they put. There's one other place they put it, but it determines by what type of fuel the engines are, and that's kind of determined. So if they're standard diesel, what you just posted me is right on the money. If they're nuclear power, it's a little bit different. Well, because the Nimitz, which will be replaced by another nuclear powered carrier in the near future, it's nuclear power. Well, somebody the other day said carriers are obsolete. I'm like, really? They seem to be blowing the living shit out of everything. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, what do we have in that theater? 3?
I mean, they seem to be just blowing the living shit out of everything. I wouldn't call them obsolete.
Listen, with the amount of tenders and supplies that are going to those ships, they probably have been and are maintaining 3 different shifts of fighters flying those planes 24/7 right now. They probably haven't stopped flying for like more than an hour or two for maintenance and refueling and reweaponing. That's it.
So Marcus Webb is writing, and where are you from? San Diego, California. Yeah, I like San Diego, nice place. Why aren't the Iranians using those cluster bombs on our ships? Probably because they get shot down long before.
Phalanx, Helios, fighter umbrella. There's helicopters all over the flotilla.
Well, no,
there's a lot to get through.
So I didn't realize these were continental, well, not continental ballistic, but the ballistic missiles. So they go up and come down.
They leave the atmosphere.
Yeah, they leave the atmosphere and they drop back down at a much faster speed. And then it breaks open. So it makes it way harder to shoot it down.
Well, they come back with no fuel, and their only course changing is from, if they have it, maybe some course correction jets that are saved for that purpose. But for the most part, it's a rock that uses, airplane technology, wings and ailerons and rudders controlled by a computer to aim at its target. It's just a rock falling out of space at that
and then
point.
when it gets to a certain height, it explodes, and 8 or 9 or actually more than that, anywhere up to 12 pieces come out, and it spreads out over a 6 to 8 mile radius.
It may even deploy air brakes or some sort of vanes to slow itself down.
Well, if those are big enough charges,
John,
if those are big enough charges and you drop one over a carrier, it could do some serious damage. I don't think it could sink the carrier or anything, but it could sure tear up the deck with a lot of planes on board.
Yep. If you damage the deck enough, they can't launch or recover planes.
Or worse, you got half your airplane just sitting there and it just takes out the whole deck.
Yeah, if you're in the middle of a launch or recovery cycle, recovery cycle, you lose less planes, but in a launching situation, you have several planes on deck at once.
So you want to carry, Janine. So there is some speculation about the new kinetic launcher. It's really good. It works really better. But the problem is it's not battle tested. It's never been under fire.
It is now.
Nothing's ever exploded around it, though. So the catapults, they know when something hits it or something happens, how to fix it and how to do it quickly, or how to reroute stuff. So these are different. These are electromagnetic. They're like rail guns. Yeah, they're basically, it's what it is. It's a rail gun throwing a fucking jet down off the carrier is what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
You're attaching your jet, so instead of having a bullet in the rail gun, the jet's in the rail gun.
There's probably some sort of billet they put around the front wheel, and that billet is affected by the electromagnetic energy, and it just pulls the plane right off the deck.
So it works kind of like the other system did. So when you look at it, you'll notice there's a little thing in the front of the wheels, and there's a pin that clips in there, and it clips into the holder, which is in this little rut. It's like a little groove in the deck, and it ain't really that wide. It's like it's a real small groove, and it just clicks into that. And when it pulls it off the deck is what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what it does, once it hits a certain speed, away you go, releases, and away your happy ass goes. So
if anyone's interested in this particular subject, there's a really, really good old time history channel show called Connections. Forget the guy who did it, some British dude, but it was a brilliant show. And the connections were some sort of ancient technology, some sort of modern day technology, and how they are combined. And the one that's best for this show right now that we're talking about, catapults and carriers, he actually does a very good comparison of how the catapult was developed and how it morphed into what we now use on carrier decks. And it's not he didn't talk about the electric railgun because it's just a concept back then.
It's pretty badass these days.
Yes.
What do you mean, Gene? There may be space lasers in space, but we're not going to show those over trivial shit like this. No,
we weren't even supposed to show the Helios system, but we were running out of missiles, and they're shooting missiles that cost them $5-6 million, and we're shooting things at them to knock them out of the sky that cost 20, 30, 40 million. Math just isn't adding up.
Or the worst one is
that costs 50 cents a shot. Whoop, much cheaper.
The worst part of this is they're throwing $30,000 drones at us. And we're using, I forgot the name of the missiles, but they're $2 million a missile. And we're using shitloads of them. I mean, literally, we're firing 50, 60, 70 of them a day, every day.
Well, yeah, they had upwards of 8,000 missiles and an unknown quantity of drones because they were in full production mode.
So somebody said they'll come rescue us from the Iranian drones.
Who did?
Anybody want to take a guess? I'll give somebody a book if they get it
Oh,
right.
Volodymyr Zelenskyy from Ukraine.
Yes. Well, Jay gave you away, so you don't get no book now. But anyway.
Oh, you were doing a book? I thought you were just asking everybody. Damn it.
He just kicked y'all right in the balls real hard.
Warn me ahead of time, will you? Jesus, dude. I thought you were asking the panel and everybody.
Anyway, so Zelenskyy said that he'd be more than happy to come over and show us how to make cheap drones and blow shit. He just built his own Tomahawk missile. He told me,
did he really?
He said, we don't need your missile. We got our own now. And got further range than ours does.
Well, shit, ours only has like what, 12,000 mile range, something like that.
Oh, I don't even know if it's that, man.
Hey, Google, what's the effective range of the Tomahawk cruise missile?
The operational range of the Tomahawk cruise missile depends on the specific variant. Generally, the range is around 1,000 miles, but some versions, like the retired Block 2 TLAMN, had a range of about 1,550 miles.
There you go.
Short-range weapon.
Hey, Google, stop.
And the reason they're short-range weapons, everybody, is because, like, just Trump's first term, pulls up and see, pops up, pops off 95 of them, goes back under and leaves. So 1,000 miles from that coast reaches a lot of places in the Middle East.
Well, and further explanation on that is it's a tactical theater-wide weapon, meaning it's not a globally wide weapon. It's a theater-specific weapon, so it has to be within the at least 2,000 mile range of the targets. Number one. Number two, it has several launch platforms. It's a TLAM. The T stands for, depending on a few things, it mostly stands for Tomahawk, land attack missile. It also can mean land to air missile, but it's usually in the most cases it's launched from our Navy vessels, and in particular when it's launched from our submarines, it's not launched out of the vertical tubes. It's launched out of the torpedo tubes, and in that case, the TLAM stands for torpedo land to air missile or land attack missile.
Jack, we have a whole group of submarines that are Tomahawk attack submarine. So a while back we were going through this, and all of them kept saying, 25 and 45. And then finally we ran across this thing about the stuff that they were using in Iraq, and they're anywhere from 90 to 120 missiles. So they're kind of not honest and I can understand why they're not honest with the missiles. They don't actually want you to know what they're carrying. But when you go back and you look at the other missiles in the compartments, they easily carry 120, 150 easily. And remember, people, Tomahawks can fly at 50 feet off the ground.
Yeah, and they contour the terrain. They'll go around trees, over rocks, mountains. They'll go between buildings even once they get near their target.
Oh, they seen them in when they were using them in Desert Storm, flying in between the buildings in Baghdad. Matter of fact, one guy was just recording, and then he's recording this one over here. He turns around, and looks, and it's not even going fast. It's just as it goes by, you can see them all rush to the balcony. Cameras going, cameras on, moving.
Yeah, if there's a dude on board, he'd be like, "Hey,"
it was just like, and then about 5 minutes later, you seen a big monster flash, a little ways away. They're badass missiles, people. Even Russia don't want to fuck with them. They're just bad.
They're very cool. We had some other cool ones. I don't know if we still use them, but we had some other. They're pretty much mostly naval specific, but the Sea Lance and the Harpoon missiles. Now, both of these missiles can be launched from ships, but on the subs, they were launched from the torpedo tubes again. And one of them, I think it was the Sea Lance. The Sea Lance came out as a torpedo first, and it was fired by wire, which means there's a dude in the torpedo control room that can turn it and have it go towards a certain particular target. After a certain point, the wires break, and it becomes autonomous, and it leaves the water. It's a multimedia device. It leaves the water and launches into the air as a proper missile, and now it goes autonomous and tries to find a surface ship. And if it doesn't find a surface ship within the time frame of however much fuel it has, well, then it loses its fuel. It stops. It drops back into the water. The cone pops off. The wings pop off. It becomes a torpedo, and it is now an autonomous torpedo that would just float around, and it would be programmed to either search deep, search shallow, search left, search right, search up, search down, blah, 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 blah. And it would drive around until it found an enemy target, and bam! Now that is a cool-ass weapon. Nobody has anything like that. We don't even have that anymore, I don't think. But that's a badass weapon.
We got some pretty bad weapons nowadays. Not much they like talking about though. And
but a multi-atmospheric weapon, it can leave the water, go back into the water. It's 3 weapons in one. It's almost doomed to never fail.
The Navy always had badass weapons, though, because it's got to defend its.
They always had the coolest stuff, I thought.
Yeah, well, because they got to defend its ships. I mean, you know, they can't call the Air Force, "Hey, come save us." You know, they got their own little Air Force anyway. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? No, the Navy does not have more planes than the Air Force.
And well, to be honest, I think the Navy fighter pilots have more combat.
Yeah, they usually have more. Well, they usually get deployed faster.
Yeah,
because they're on a carrier.
Right.
Yeah, they usually get out there faster. Plus, they have to learn how to live and fly on a carrier, which is a whole different thing than every day. But no, Jenny, to answer your question, the Air Force has way more planes than the Navy does. Probably 10 to 1, maybe 15 to 1. It's a lot more. Well, the Navy has them on bases. They don't just have them on carriers. They do have them on naval bases. But most naval bases are on coastlines or inside the U.S. where there is no water. So they do have to have airplanes instead. No, they have a lot, but they don't have like the Air Force has an ungodly amount of airplanes. Even China don't have the airplanes we do.
Yeah, the Navy probably has more like transport planes than they have fighter planes compared to the Air Force, which has more of both. You know, personal transport planes and fighter pilot planes.
It's amazing how much. Well, no, it's nice to know. I mean, it's just nice to know it's out there.
Yeah.
Well, because we need, in some way, it's we need. I have to play this. How long is this? Nope, it's 22 minutes. Can't play that. No, I was looking at the new reviews for Star Trek Awakening.
And it's kind of
not
like
Awakening.
I'll use one of Heidi's phrases. The reason why we have a big Army, Navy, Air Force. No shenanigans, no fuckery. If you don't want your enemies to come around with shenanigans and fuckery,
pretty much
you have a bigger, better gun. That's really the only deterrent. How you do, Kevin?
Have a big bad gun, and people tend to leave you alone.
That's yeah.
Jack, I don't think I'm in the right place, but I'll look when I switch accounts. No, maybe I can do it this way. No, I'm looking for a particular song I wanted to play.
We're coming up on the break.
Yeah, we're actually past the break. We're gonna get going. You mean that's the California Dreamers? Yeah, California Leavers. I think it's actually.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's the actual real name of the song. Well, no, I got a couple of clips in this, but we're gonna looking. Like I said, I was looking for a particular song. With some jazz. The only thing I have at hand that's jazzy right now is "Turn Me On" by Norah Jones.
Oh, well, how about Neil Peart's Pieces of 8? It's kind of a jazzy piece with California drums.
I got like 4,000 songs in this list, but I don't know if I got that one or not.
I can grab it off of YouTube real quick if you want.
You know what we might play? Oh, yeah, we still got something everybody loves. Something everybody loves, yeah. Probably one of the few artists that everybody gets along with. Even the rap.
It is.
Wait, if I can find the room again, I'll tell you. Oh, there we go. Well, she started out really young, and she was with a group, and then she was solo, and then she was back with a group, and she had a couple of affairs here and there.
Stevie Nicks.
Group and stuff. Look at Jay. Jay hit it right off the bat. No, that was Stevie Nicks. She was
I'm kind of a Fleetwood head.
Yeah, she was a dark angel. Let's just leave it at that. How's that? Still is a dark angel for that man. I shouldn't say she asked because she's still around. She just did. She just came off tour. Well, yeah. I don't even know if she's off. She still might be going, but I know she's close. Was close to the end last time I heard her. But anyway, let me cue this up for everybody. We're gonna go take a break. We'll be that. We might catch a clip, might catch a promo. You never know. But we'll probably be going for about 8 or 9 minutes. Kind of long break on the first break set. Yeah, go out, hang out, get some coffee, take a shot of whiskey, smoke a joint, slap your wife, slap your husband. I don't care. Slap whoever. Slap your dog, man. You slap my dog, it's gonna bite you. Just warn you ahead of time. It's kind of mean like that. It takes after somebody else.
Yeah, anyway, be careful with the slapping though. You don't want to wind up having Feinberg face.
I was told there was only 2 things you could slap, and I can't mention either one on this show.
I bet one has to do with monkey, right?
I'm just saying there's only 2 things I was ever told you could slap legally and should be slapped regularly. And both of these, one has to do it women, one has to do it man. And then I can't tell you no more than that because they'll probably throw us off air. Anyway, here's the beautiful Stevie Nicks. We'll be back in, like I said, about 10 minutes. So enjoy, hang out. And hopefully we don't get thrown off because, every now and then YouTube gets crazy and says,
sometimes they get nuts.
We don't like you no more. Get off our radio.
Smoke it if you got it, though.
No, we got a lot of news to catch up on. We've been messing around because with some stuff we want to talk about. But we need to get into, we need to get a little bit more into Trump's head on what you see on the war itself, at home, fuel prices. Where are we actually headed with this? Is this going to hurt his chances of winning the 2026 midterm? Sorry, guys. But anyway.
What? Uh-oh. Fat Finger Tuesday again. Yeah, you got that right. What have you did, Joe? You knocked everything out.
Things quietly as much as Ilhan does. I know her very well. Or as I like to call her, the Congresswoman from Florida.
You told me, a United States Congresswoman, to, quote, go back to where you came from. That is textbook racism.
Incorrect. I said, if you hate it here so much, maybe go fix the place you came from first, then come back and show us how it's done. It was a suggestion, a very generous suggestion, like a Yelp review, constructive. 5 stars for effort, 1 star for execution.
I am an American citizen. I have, I took an oath. I serve in the United States Congress.
Who spends every waking minute telling America how terrible it is. You came here as a refugee. This country took you in, gave you safety, gave you an education, gave you a seat in Congress, and your thank you card was a list of complaints longer than a CVS receipt. Nobody reads those, by the way, nobody. And I'm very upset about it, actually. Not happy about it.
So my family, we came here fleeing a civil war. We lived in a refugee camp for 4 years. 4 years. And you don't get to tell me about gratitude. I mean, the audacity. You were born into, you've never struggled a day in your life.
And America gave you everything. Everything. And the good news is I love this country enough to point out when somebody's trashing it full time from the inside. That's your favorite president looking out for America. You're welcome.
To be fair, Congresswoman, the optics of that have always been pretty difficult.
The optics, Tucker. You wouldn't know optics if it hit you. This whole show is a propaganda. You're literally sitting there carrying water for a dictator.
I'm asking you questions. You're choosing not to answer them. Those are different things. I mean, you know that.
Very different. She does this every time, Tucker. Somebody asks a question, and instead of answering, she just calls them a name. Extremely low IQ strategy. Hasn't worked once. Probably never will. Trying. And honestly, it's driving them crazy. They're nuts over there.
Well, speaking of composure, or the lack of it, Congresswoman, at the most recent State of the Union, while the president was honoring families of Americans killed by illegal immigrants, you stood up and screamed at him on camera during a joint session of Congress, actually.
He was, those families were being absolutely exploited.
He was being a dick.
He was exploiting grief for political theater, and someone needed to say it.
I was reading their names. That's it. I was standing there very calmly, very presidentially, reading the names of dead Americans, and she started screaming murderer at me like I cut her off in traffic. Total meltdown. The whole country watched it. Nobody's ever seen anything like it, believe me.
Somebody had to say it. The Democrats were look, nobody was, I was the only one willing to stand up and fight. You are disgusting.
Oh, she was the only one willing. Hear that, Tucker? She was the only one brave enough to scream at a memorial for dead people. Very courageous, tremendous bravery. They call her a congresswoman, but I call her a fire alarm with a pension.
That is a lie. You are a liar. The families, if you actually spoke to them, I mean, some of those families have said that.
Some of those families? Which ones? Name one. Go ahead, I'll wait. Very patient. Your favorite president is very patient.
The footage really does speak for itself, Ilhan. I'm not just saying that.
It speaks very loudly, Tucker, almost as loudly as she did. And I was standing there like a statue, didn't flinch, didn't blink, and she's doing her best impression of a car alarm in a Costco parking lot. Crazy, deranged, actually.
Oh my God.
Hey, what is this? I don't want to hear
The
about
whole
that.
thing, the lunatics are running the asylum over there.
Okay, let's talk about your district, Minneapolis, specifically the allegations of widespread fraud in federally funded daycare programs. Tens of millions in stolen taxpayer money funneled through facilities that, by all accounts, had no children in them. Does the Leering Center ring a bell, Ilhan?
Oh, Tucker, this is my favorite one. I've been waiting for this. So she's got these daycares in Minnesota, or as I like to call it, Fraudisota. Bigger, better, stronger than ever before when it comes to fraud. And they're billing the federal government for hundreds of kids, hundreds. Only problem, you go to the daycare and there's nobody there, emptier than a Biden rally. Tumbleweeds, Tucker, actual tumbleweeds. In Minnesota, nobody's ever seen anything like it.
I saw tumbleweed today, actually.
Those were independent organizations that the federal government, look, I didn't personally do that. There are bad actors in every community. And to suggest that somehow I, a congresswoman...
She's doing the bad actors thing. She loves that. Bad actors. Like it's a movie, like it's Hollywood. Meanwhile, one of these daycares had a sign-in sheet and half the names were characters from The Lion King. Simba signed in at 8 a.m. Nala, right behind him. Mufasa, who, by the way, is deceased. So that's also fraud on a spiritual level. Very disrespectful to Mufasa, frankly. I get along very well with Mufasa.
Okay, that's not what the investigation was about. It was about a specific network of, look, I will not be accountable. I hate accountability. My office cooperated with everything.
Well, there was a rather thorough investigative video that went viral on this subject. Millions of views, actually.
Millions, because people watched it and said, wait, this is where our money goes? Empty rooms, ghost children, folding chairs, a cardboard cutout of a toddler taped to the wall. Your district turned feeding our future into feeding our fraudsters, and you walked around like you didn't smell the smoke. The whole state smelled it. Half the time you were out of the country trashing America while your district was running the biggest daycare heist in history. Very sad.
That's not what the investigation was about. It was about a specific network of, look, I will not be accountable. I hate accountability. My office cooperated with everything.
I may have met them at community events. Tucker, write that one down. That's going in the book. She may have met the people who stole $250 million from her own district at community events. What kind of community events are these? I have questions, many questions.
You are so obnoxious. You are so hateful. And I don't have to sit here and just take this nonsense. I cooperated fully with everything.
Cooperated fully. That's what everyone says right before they stop cooperating fully, by the way. Very predictable. Page 1. I know that move very well. And I'm very confident we'll be hearing more about this very soon. Make a deal very soon.
Who y'all think we got one, guys?
That was hilarious. Where the hell did you find that? Jesus, that was funny.
Yeah, I find shit all over the place. There's more of these, by the way. Him with these.
I don't doubt it with AI. I mean, they probably pump them out by the truckload.
What's that? Denise? You love my black shirt. Black. What the hell? No, it's not black. It's purple. It's like the color of grapes, man. Squishy grapes, when it comes out. This is even more purple. What the hell, man? I got 2 lights on me. There's no way you can't. Anyway, we're not gonna worry about that. Welcome back to everybody. News on the flip side. I hope y'all enjoyed the first hour.
It doesn't look black. It actually looks kind of chocolate brown on my camera.
Jay's hungry, man. That's what he's. Hey, look, I'm not a big chocolate rabbit, dude. Chill out.
Yeah, I do have.
Get back, man.
I did fry up a batch of fried rice this afternoon. So
aren't we getting close to Happy Easter? No, it's tragic.
Yes, these stores are decorated happily for Easter. Correct.
All right, G. So
there we go. Kevin's got it.
I know.
Dark taupe on you, Joe.
It's So I know we cut you out a little short when I was talking shit about Europe earlier, but this is the real problem. when the NATO guy spoke at the thing and told everybody, not just NATO, but every fucking country in Europe, we cannot survive without the United States. I said, yeah, that's true. We help them out. But I did not realize Europe had become fucking Canada. So Canadians, I love you Canadians. I mean, I'm station man. It's up there. And I got a lot of friends in Canada. But look, what's happened to Canada seems to have happened to Europe. What I mean by this, and Canada actually admits this. Even their politicians do. So they figured they can throw more money at liberal projects and saving the planet projects, immigration projects, because why do you think it's because, Jay? Why can they spend all that money that we can't?
Because it's theirs and they have to get rid of it.
No, it's because the United States protects their ass and they don't have to have an army.
Yeah.
So where we're spending,
talking about us.
We're spending $1 trillion a year almost on military. Canada, I mean, our toilets cost more than what Canada's spending on military a year. It's no, because they know we're not going to let China invade. We're not going to let Russia invade. It's not going to fucking happen. We won't even care what Canada has to say about it. Once any country that is stupid enough to bomb like Tehran, any city, we're going to go after. So yes, we are. We're going to take that as a personal attack. Something people don't realize, but for the most part, the Americas is funny, especially North America. Blowing up one of us is like blowing up all three of us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know the little woman down there in Mexico is a little flaky, but I think when it comes to getting her ass shot or protecting herself, she'll do the lot latter. Heidi, lately I've been talking to a lot of my friends in Colorado, and the weed up there must be getting really good. I mean, must be like THC 50 coming right out of the flower, man. Them some bitches are high when I hear them talk now. I'm serious. The whole fucking state is high. They're not as bad as LA, mind you.
Well, I don't. It may be a combination of two things: strong weed and diminished atmosphere, because there is lesser oxygen way up high there.
That's true. No, Jack, I have nothing. I would recommend people go to LA. I have a good time every time I go to LA. But to be honest with you, I'm pretty much staying in Hollywood. I'm up and down Hollywood Boulevard. I'm not really. We hit some side streets. They tried to talk me into going to La Brea tar pits last year. I'm like, no, that's okay. I would rather get some rest. There's a lot of stuff there. A lot of the food's decent. It's not like where I come from, but ain't many places like the food where I come from. So France, what Paris has got on Louisiana, on New Orleans. That's why all the chefs come here to cook. Fuck Paris. Yeah. You go around the world and you see how many New Orleans chefs you see are trained in New Orleans now. You'll be like, what the fuck? Yeah, I think 9 of the top 20 are from here, or trained here, that own businesses.
Well, also there was the Galloping Gourmet, Graham Chapman. He actually came over here from England as a master chef. Had a TV show. I think it was on PBS. So it was on free TV, and he disappeared. I don't know how long, 20 years, and then he came back, and I think he was down in New Orleans learning stuff, because he came back with this whole menu of like almost New Orleans style menu items, shrimp and fish, and even, I don't know if he used crab, but I think he used lobster. But they were all meals that were good for you rather than heavy in calories. So he would compare. He used to do comparisons, like old shows that he did. He'd do a meal from an old show with his new formula in today's ingredients, and it was pretty cool. But I think he went to New Orleans to learn.
Well, main reason chefs want to come to New Orleans is because New Orleans is the king of fusion food. What I mean by that is there's so many different cultures here. It's like forced fusion. I mean, too many things bleed over into too many other dishes. I was watching a video yesterday on all the different foods that come from New Orleans. It's crazy. And a lot of it really good foods, too. I didn't know oysters Rockefeller came from. It was a new one on me. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff like that, and all cities are going to have food, Jack, that comes from their city. Some cities are going to be more famous for others. No, pizza's Italian. No, muffalata. No, muffalata is New Orleanian. That's what that is, my friend.
But pizza is definitely right Italian, but
it's a little different
until it hits New York and Chicago, where it meets its match. I mean, if you take a bowl of spaghetti that you make here in America or get from a restaurant here in America, and a pizza you get from Chicago or New York here in America, you take them over to Italy, and you go and you get yourself a pizza and a bowl of spaghetti, you'll notice two things. The sauce on both the spaghetti and the pizza in Italy is lacking, but the sauces on the pizzas from Chicago, New York, and the spaghettis is overflowing. They don't use a whole lot of red sauce. There's just enough to make the noodles pinkish. Really, is all you get.
In all fairness, on pizzas, I don't need all that much red sauce. I can be light, maybe a little extra light, but I mean a little light with a little extra on it. But you know, I'm good with all that as long as it's a good sauce. I can do it. Spaghetti's a little different because you can have meatballs and that shit or whatever.
Well, I think that's the reason why New York pizza is better. Well, not better, but I think New York pizza is more popular than Chicago pizza for one reason. Chicago pizza normally it's large, 16 inches, 18 inches in diameter. Number one. Number two, very little sauce under the cheese, just enough cheese to cover most of the crust, leaving you enough to hold. But what makes New York pizza awesome, if the crust is done right, it shouldn't droop. You should be able to pick it up with two fingers. I'll put my camera on. You should be able to pick it up with two fingers and just pinch the crust like a triangle in the middle. And the crust, if it's done right, should be nice and stiff and straight out. But the beauty of it is, the more you can put more toppings on it than you can say on a Chicago pizza, because Chicago pizza is pan deep. It's real thick. So you get all this bread, then you get all these toppings. So it's a little harder to eat. Chicago is just it's a walk around pie. You grab one slice from a vendor, you keep on walking down the street. You get to another cart, grab another slice if you're hungry. Chicago
That's
pizza isn't like that.
All the Brooklyn pizzerias are like that. You get a nice slice of pizza, and it's usually about like that wide. It goes down, about like that. But there's a place that they call Fat Boys, who has the pizza so big you got to open both doors to get it out.
Oh shit!
I actually had to put the seats up in my car and lay them down to get the pizza in my damn car. So I mean, literally, the thing is huge. So you get slices that are like this, and like this, and it's a fabulous pizza too.
My local pizza delivery guys, it's Arturo's, original Arturo's. There's two of them nearby. Then there's like 3 Franks. There's a JD's Pizza, and then there's Toledo. So I'm surrounded, and there's 1 or 2 other small mom and pop shops surrounded by pizza. So it's a highly Italian area, which I'm glad about. So there's plenty of spaghetti. But they have a 30-inch, I think it's a Sicilian style pie. So it's square and it's 30-inch. So it's huge. They have a specific box they have already ready to go, but you can't pick it up. It's for delivery only because it's so huge. So they don't let you pick it up because I guess it won't fit through most average cars' doors.
Somewhere I'll have to post a picture of me bringing that thing out to double doors. I mean, it's crazy because I mean, literally, when you open the double doors, there ain't much room left on either side. No, it's well, I mean, I don't know why they make.
Think about a 30-inch square pie. That's like almost 3 foot square. That's huge. I mean,
it's no, they're good pizzas. And, well, one slice usually does you off of it. No, it's so they have 18 at 26 at 32, and I think this one's like a 48, and that's the from side to side of the pie. Yeah. I'd have to go look to be 100% sure. No, well, you know why they did that? Because they put these big ones in the box, and they sell the slice. And then every now and then somebody says, "Put the big one in the box for me. I'm going home with the big bitch." And they got a special box for it too. It's crazy. No, Jeffrey. So getting back to the Europeans. Yes, I know. I won't talk about food anymore. We're going to talk about food tomorrow night. So, getting back to the Europeans. Literally, England could not field a boat to save their own fucking island.
And they were once king of the navies, man.
I mean, their navy is a shell, and I don't think they wanted anybody to know. So then we find out that France's air force is pretty much a shell. And between the two of them, they don't sound like they got enough troops to stop a damn. No, man, I think that concert could have overtaken them. Especially if it's like Taylor Swift. Oh, shit. What you done, man? What you doing?
Can you imagine that? Well, Paris, France, conquered by Swifties.
Well, I was watching that one where Singapore, it was somewhere with one of the Asians. I think it was Singapore. 3 days she was there. There were people coming from every part of the Asian world. There were people just standing outside. They couldn't get tickets. They were just standing outside, hoping to hear the music or just to see it. Actually, I'm amazed at how many Asians speak English or a form of English. I won't call it real English.
The bulk of Europe are bilingual as well. Almost every European has, they see.
Well, for Europe and
here's the
America,
thing. Between Europe and America, in Europe, they learn their native language, French, German, whatever, all the way through grade school, maybe high school. But when they get to college, unless they're doing like their country's literature as a major, they don't have to take any more German classes or French classes. They're asked to take 2 foreign languages at least as electives through their college careers, giving them trilingual ability.
English is the global language, the trade language, and the language for air traffic controllers. So it's everybody needs to speak it. The Germans are about a third of them, I think, speak it. I was going through the list the other night. I was reading about it.
I think Germany is one of the few countries where through high school the kids they have to learn English and German.
There's also bases in German too. Well, no, because technically English is the universal language. Yeah, China pisses China off, but because 1.4 billion people speak not Mandarin. There's 3 forms of Chinese anyway, but
there's Mandarin, there's Szechuan, and what's the third one?
And anyway, there's 3 of them, so they kind of breaks up how they.
I know there's 3 writing languages or writing alphabet systems.
You'd be surprised how many Asians speak English. Like I just said, so if you're an Asian pilot, you have to speak English, or you can't land at any airports anywhere. So if you're anybody who flies international has to speak English. That is the language of air traffic control.
All air traffic. Well, I think also most boat traffic is English now too.
Yeah. So because it's probably the easiest of the languages to learn.
It's actually not.
I hear horror stories about Spanish and French.
So our language for most of the European nations isn't
German.
too
Sounds
difficult.
even worse.
But as far as other languages go, our language has the most rules, the most exceptions to those rules, the most exceptions to those exceptions, and the most exceptions to those exceptions. And that's not just the half of it. We also have really weird. For most of the part, Europe's their subjects come before. All the sentences are all like reversed versus here versus there. But it also, because of all those rule changes and grammar being so much different than Europe, or at least the syntax, rather, not the grammar, the syntax, where you place the subject and the verb and all that. For China, it makes our language the most difficult, or at least for the Asian-speaking nations, because of those rules. It makes it harder for them because their language is in 2 ways. It's easier and harder. And the way that it's harder is to read in China, you need to know at least 1 million different characters. And their alphabet is longer than 1 million characters. That's the really bitch part of it. The other part of it is their syntax and their sentence structure is very simple, especially compared to the Japanese. But it's a very simple way they form their sentences. In Japan, for example, you can have a 1-word Japanese word that represents like a paragraph worth translated into English. At the same time, there's a huge word or several words in Japanese. It's almost maybe like a paragraph itself that when you translate to English becomes 1 word. So that makes translating their language, particularly the Japanese language, to ours even harder because of their idealized symbolic language. It's harder to.
Man, I got something makes it nothing, man. It's done.
But they learn a different language from us, and it's harder for those Asian-speaking nations to get their hands on our syntax and grammar.
Universal translator is here, people. I'm amazed it got here in my lifetime, but it is here. It is available, and you get it for $10.
I've been looking at them.
Yeah,
no, more than $10. But
no. I got mine for $8.99.
Deal Dash?
For 148 things and 148, and it's actually even a name brand.
Where'd you get it?
I don't know, but I got it cheap. It came with another order. I was ordering some other shit, and I just had clicked it to see if I wanted to look at it later on, and I guess I forgot it was in there. It works pretty good. It goes through your phone. It works pretty good. You can use one ear for each person if you want to. So that way it's translating my language and their language, so you can have a conversation without having to have another set of buds. That's cool. And then it translates well. I haven't had any real problems with it. I'm gonna bring it to LA when I go. So because a lot of different languages down there. And it's nice because sometimes I'll just put it in my ear. Like, in old days, you'd be traveling like in DC. So when you're in certain places in DC, there's a lot of languages get spoken, especially in places like convenience stores and department stores. And there's just a lot of people from out of the country working there. And then you'll be walking by somebody, you'll hear something they're saying that probably something that they shouldn't be saying in polite company. I got a guy really good in DC when I was doing a lecture there. I don't know what these two guys were talking about, but when I walked up behind him and put my arm on, I said, dude, not everybody's ignorant. Some of us know what you're saying. They turned red. And I mean, they were black, like from Africa. So it was so funny. And they were so embarrassed. And they just left and went and got behind the counter and didn't say a word about the rest of the time we went. So matter of fact, I think he comped like half of my stuff upon. That's just so stupid. What do you mean, Chris? I wouldn't be a racist. If you're from the continent originally. No, because if you live in America today, but you came here as a slave or whatever back in the day, or even if you came as a free person, say 100, 200 years ago, it's different. So a good friend of mine who is from West Africa, who lives in Oregon now, she lived in West Africa, then she lived in England, then they moved out to Arizona, and then she moved back to New York. She went and became a nurse, and then a nurse practitioner, then a doctor, and then a PhD doctor. Now she runs her own group of clinics. So I used to pick on her because if you turned the light, you couldn't find her. Her eyes closed. She used to get mad at me. She's like, "That's racist." It's not. I said, "It's true." And then she used to say, "Yeah," because she don't consider. Matter of fact, none of the people I met from Africa consider black people in the United States to be Africans. They said they look nothing like Africans. They're just different. Oh no, and most of them say they're spoiled. Oh yeah. Because I was giving a lecture in the DC Mall, and there was a big argument that went on. So these 4 guys from Kenya, and good-looking guys. They were just doing their business. You could tell they had a little money, and they were in DC for whatever reason, probably some kind of political thing. And it was 3 black guys that were just hanging out. I don't know who they were, who they worked for, if they were just there having lunch. That's a big place. Well, the one guy said something about the guy being dark. And it started some, what? Oh no, it was a bad fight. Yeah, they had to bring the security in and everything. Oh yeah, it was like, because it's amazing to me. It's one of those things that you have to stop and go, what?
Yeah, it is a strange phenomenon. African, the people who grew in Africa properly and immigrate over here, they don't like native U.S. black people. It's a strange phenomenon.
What do you mean? Why are they darker? It's not so much because they're dark. It's because here they get mixed blood. So most of the slaves somewhere along the line probably has a white ancestor, at least one. If you can tell if they got more than one, there's other features that change as well. Yeah. Who, me? I just got asshole ancestors. That's all. No, I got a lot of black friends. Got black employees, a lot of black people that are in political positions. Why? Because they know I'm not racist. They know I'm an asshole, though. We'll tell them too. It doesn't matter to me. Look, when I look at you, I don't see a skin color. I see, are you an asshole or are you not? How I see you. Yeah, it's just how it is. We'll see a dick. Yep. Well, let's not see him no more. Oh, he's kind of cool. Let's talk to him or her. Yes. Because it's just how it is. Do you know how many people you would miss out on in life if you banned yourself from speaking to other races and colors and sexes? I mean, give me a break. Oh, yeah. So, Daryl, I seen that. So, I forgot her name. She posted something about, I'll tear your ass up if you call me baby or sweetheart or some shit. Hey, Kara. And I was like, really? I said, well, you kind of skanky. I said, the only thing I want to call you is Skanky Muffin. Oh, Lord, I started a big old fight. I wasn't under this name, though. It's not a different name. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, too. When, sometimes if you see it says United Public Radio and it says me, or you see UFO Paranormal Radio and it says me, that doesn't necessarily mean it's me. About 7 people have access to each one of these accounts. Oh yeah, you better watch out. It could be Michelle. She'll tear your ass up. No, but anyway, getting back to Europe, because y'all keep sidetracking me off of Europe. Europe's military
Stop looking at the chat screen, Joe.
No, it's a paper tiger. I mean, it doesn't really have. Hey, Karen, it doesn't really have anything. I mean, after watching these 3 countries try to pull something off, if we needed missiles from them, I don't think they'd have them to give to us. It's a good damn thing we got bases there, because that's probably the only thing keeping Putin from invading right now.
Probably. But if he knew, I mean, I don't, maybe he does. I don't know. If he knew what the true strength of like the native forces were, once he gets through ours, I mean, it'd be just like, picking off tin cans with a BB gun for the rest of Europe, right?
Yeah, but he said it was 450 million people in Europe, which is 3 times the amount of people he has in his country, and a much bigger fighter group. But the problem is he knows. Well, how did he say it the other day on TV? He said Europeans lost the will to fight. He said they're an easily conquered nation.
They've gotten fat by living off the life of Riley we gave them. Absolutely,
He said it. He said if America doesn't stand up for them, they're doomed. Because somebody's going to come take them over.
If we pulled our forces out, I guarantee you, Putin would have attacked them probably right after he hit Ukraine.
Yeah, he said him and she would split it in half. He said she could use some expanding room right now.
Yeah, like they need breeding room.
The expanding room. They got too many people in the area.
Expanding, breeding. It's the same thing that Hitler said in 1939.
It's so because what happens is for China's. This is what's so fucking funny. China, America, and Russia, all 3 have the same problem. Their group in the middle, the one that does everything, saves everything, makes everything, it's gotten way small. Even in China, it's gotten way small. And then China's got another problem. The men outnumber the women. It's only 4%. You would think that's nothing, but that's a big thing, because that 4% coupled with a couple of other things only leaves a breeding population, I think they said, of 24%. Russia is worse out of the 3. If Russia doesn't figure out how to get fresh blood in its country soon, within 50 years, it will only have the young generation that was alive today, whatever children they've had, which means their population will go from about 186 million to about 70 million.
Well, we're not far behind that. We're not really producing much either.
We're right now we're like nudging over the line. I think it's like 1.5 and we're like 1.75 or 85. I mean, literally. Somebody said it's changed. Maybe it's gotten better. I haven't looked recently, but last time I
don't know that it's started going up, but it was at one point a downward spiral. They were saying in like 1,000 years that we'd be out of existence, something like that.
Well, there's been a couple. The Z Geners look like they might get busy, and the X Geners don't want no more babies. Man, get the hell out of there. They got enough of them. The millennials need to have some babies. That's Besides, the X Geners are feral, man. Have y'all ever messed with the X Gens? Right, half the people on this network are X Geners. X Geners are feral. They don't fucking play around, though.
I think I fall just past the baby boomer by like a year.
Yeah,
so I kind of more identify baby boomer than I do Gen X, but that's where I am.
Baby boomer does, depending on whose list you want to go to, 62, 63, 64. It just depends. So any one of those could be baby boomers. Any one of those could be X Gen. I don't know why it changes like that. Makes no sense to me. And the very first time I ever seen it was 65, but
but technically, the definition of a baby boomer is this: those people who were married during the 50s and 60s, right after World War II, those are Gen Xers. My parents fall into that category.
Wait, you're going backwards, man. Gen X is in front of us, not behind us.
Well, I'm saying that's where that generation came from. Is my dad was born in the 30s.
Yeah, okay, I got you now. I got you.
My mom was born, I think, 30, maybe 40, 4 years after my dad, 1940. But they came up in the era of World War II, and they were after World War II was when the baby boom began, and my parents got married in 62, which is still part of the baby boom years, or 63 rather, when Kennedy was assassinated. So, I'm kind of fall in that category.
Well, Steve, if you go by attitude and the way it was, I would have definitely been an ex-gener. But because I just, that's how my mom was, get to go out, do whatever. But I felt I was the last year. I was born in the last year of it. So technically, I didn't have any of the characteristics of the baby boomer because I didn't live through their life. But
I didn't either. But I definitely have the mentality. I mean, the day
I got, and like I was get outside, get the fuck out the house, go do this, go do that.
We got that too. But the day that those students took over the embassy in Iran, I was a strong proponent back then. I was only 13, 14 or whatever. And I said it then. I've been saying it all through till we started bombing the crap out of them just a few days ago. Blow the shit out of them. Wipe that goddamn stuff off the planet. They're not going to they're not going to work with anyone in the community, whether it's going to be their own Islamic nation friends or their, hateful Jewish friends. They were not going to work with anybody.
Today
unfortunately, we're having to do what President Carter tried to do but failed. He didn't fail. His generals did. We're also fixing what Reagan failed to do. Reagan didn't even send troops in. He made a deal with them.
It's today's day 14. Tomorrow starts week 3 of the conflict. This is the end of week 2 today. Yeah. Well, technically, it's because they're ahead of us in time. It's already past over there. It's Saturday over there. Yeah. It's Saturday 14th. Besides, y'all need to go watch that weird movie Saturday the 14th.
Or Thursday the 12th.
Friday the 13th. Saturday the 14th.
This is the second Friday the 13th this year.
I know it's kind of weird. I was talking about that yesterday. No, Kirby, so getting back to Europe again, I like the EU woman. She's good, she's smart, she's bright, she's fast. But she had no idea that most of Europe has been selling off their military or acting like they've been doing stuff, but not really. They haven't been expanding. Oh, they say that we've been doing this and we've been doing that. But NATO guy runs NATO said, you're not giving us nothing. What the fuck? You gave us 2%. And 1 or 2 countries didn't even give us that. Trump said, I forgot one of the other countries, Spain. He said Spain should be thrown the fuck out of NATO. NATO hasn't paid their dues in a while. He said it needs to be thrown out, and they don't want to accept the 5%. They need to go. They need to be tossed. Out you go. Yeah, it's a pay for protection scam, buddy. You better get out your fucking military. What's Spain going to do? Beat us with
NATO was set up with the idea that the mafia had a pretty good thing. You want protection, you pay us. We'll make sure your knees don't crack.
The problem is they're panicking because they don't know if U.S. is going to be there anymore to save their ass. And right now, they know Donald Trump and Putin have a relationship, and they're scared that, he may invade some European country. And America might say, that's your fucking problem. It's Europe. As long as he's not. You mean England? No, you see, we can't let him invade England. That's the problem. We can let him invade France. You know what? Most Americans wouldn't even give a shit. Nope. But not England. England's like the fatherland.
Hell, Putin doesn't even have to actually physically invade France. All he has to do is get on the radio and mention that he's going to kill 50,000 French citizens, and the French premier will probably collapse and say, all right, we give in. Don't kill anybody, and we surrender. Because they did that in the 90s with the mad cow scare in Europe. The German premier announced on the radio that they were going to, as a precaution to stop the mad cow disease, they were going to slaughter and kill 50,000 cows. Well, somehow the prime minister of France turned on his radio, and he didn't hear the cows part. All he heard was, "We're going to kill 50,000." So the French premier called up the German Kaiser and said, "We surrender." It's in the news. It really happened. It was the funniest thing I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff like that. Well, no, Jack. So Russia has on more than one occasion now said they're ready for war with Europe, and they said they're not scared to use tactical nukes. Well, first off, Russia, you got tactical nukes. I understand that, but you know what? England has tactical nukes. France has tactical nukes. America's got tactical nukes in Germany. I mean, what are you going to do, dude? You're going to start World War III for sure, then, and it's not going to be started in the Middle East. It's going to be started in Europe. Because England's just not going to let you nuke them. They're going to be like, really, you fucking asshole? Watch this. Boom, we got 80. We're going to let all 80 go at one time. No, see, Carrie, that's not a good number. So they got 80 missiles. God knows how many warheads they have per missile. If they got 10 per, that's 800. Yes, this gives you fucked up fast. Those are MERS, yeah.
Oh, you see that, Joe? There's another Friday the 13th coming in November.
Man, that's 3 in a year.
Yeah, I wonder what day it's going to be on. Is it going to be on the 13th? You think?
Elon said the other day, Earth should be putting their affairs together, man. That's why he's just going to go to the moon before he goes to Mars. So Putin he's not worried about Europe. He's a little pissed that we're in the Middle East, but he's not that pissed because he's over there giving Iranians intelligence on America. At least we'll know what kind of intelligence he gets on us now. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Well, what are we going to say? Question for anybody listening tonight. Do you think we give intelligence to the Ukraine? I think we do.
Probably.
I know that was part of the deal with Joe Biden and him, so I think we still do. You mean, why is he giving a break on the fuel sanctions? Well, it's a twofold reason. Okay, one, he's trying to give a little carrot to Putin to help get the Ukrainian war over. But two, it'll stop the gas prices and help start them going the other way. Now, Turkey and Pakistan are both sending destroyers to the Middle East, to the Strait of Hormuz, because they're fucking tired of this gas bullshit. Turkey told Iran if it shoots any more missiles at it, it's going to be a fucking problem. Well, Turkey's got a pretty modern air force. They might even have some F-35s.
Well, I think they have some F-15s still operational.
Well, what the Air Force has been doing, so where there was F-15 Eagles, now they're supposed to be F-16. But some of the militaries don't like giving up the Eagles because they're twin engines. A lot, pilots prefer twin engines because your fucking engine goes out, you got another one.
Well, and they're twice as fast as single engine fighters.
Well, no, Johnny, F-16 was a beast. It was F-16 was basically a plane built on top of a fucking engine. Now, the engine. So if you ever see an old Corsair, you'll notice that the engine starts at the nose of the plane, goes already to ass, and pretty much that's the F-16. Right about the front of the cockpit back is all engine. Because they needed it to go fast. And it's a light plane, so it carries a little more. It can carry a little more fuel, go a long distance. It's a great plane. It's like a bee bugging your ass. Whereas the F-15 was just a blunt instrument that just clubbed you to death. Well, no, they could both carry the same missiles. The F-15 just could carry more. Yeah.
F-15 fully loaded carried a lot of missiles.
They still use them. Yeah. I keep hearing the Nimitz being decommissioned, but I haven't seen anything official.
Not while this conflict's going on. I'm sure not. If
they said it was.
If been put out, then they're on suspension until this conflict is over.
Well, it's not just a carrier; it's the air wing on the carrier. Yeah, they don't want to lose the air wing. As long as it's got a nuclear reactor, so it's probably still good for another couple of years. And other than that, they usually keep the ships pretty shipshape. Yeah, they're old. It's been around for a while now. It's been bumping the seas and blowing up shit, landing shit planes going and coming for God knows how long now.
Well, they axed the was the third Enterprise just a couple of years ago, and it had a Star Trek museum on board.
Oh yeah, it ended up as scrap. I've seen the scrap of it.
They scrapped it.
Yeah, they scrapped it.
The museum, I'm sure. I think all the pieces from that museum went to one of the two independent studios that have built or rebuilt the original Star Trek set designs. Like, there's one in Ticonderoga, New York. And I think that's where they went.
Jimmy, the last 2 Navy carriers were sold for $1. Going to the scrapyard yet. No, we don't let them take the reactors. I don't get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, the nuclear stuff is carefully siphoned off in some enclosed facility somewhere, probably up near Groton, Connecticut, I think. Or maybe Newport News, depending on where it was, commissioned to begin with.
If you ever get to go on board a carrier, there's always a way to get the reactor out. But when you're standing in there, you can't really find it unless you know where it's at. Well, because everything's connected. But there's ways that things pop loose, and you can sometimes it goes up through the top, and sometimes it goes out through the side. Well, no, in this case, they're just going to cut it out and remove it. Say thank you, reactor. You're coming with us.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Could they reuse? I guess they could ship it up to the moon and use it on the moon,
or put it to power up an underground, deep underground military base.
Personally, I think they should scrap it. It's been around for a long time. Bouncing around the seas with uranium or plutonium in it, whatever the hell's in it. I forget now. No, well, they used to have big signs that used to tell you what was in it, which exposure was, and you had to wear these little pretty colored badges. If they changed colors, you were pretty much dead. Matter of fact, what they told you was, so for a while they had these like turquoise and pink, and they would flip colors if something had happened. They would tell you, if it's only like starting to change colors, you're probably okay to get out. He said, but if it's like solid, the other color, you're dead. You might as well just know you're dead. I'm like, really? Well, fucking thank you for telling me that. Yeah, they were serious. No, the head of the EU wants to change it, Ronnie, but they're just going slow. Where are you at? Oh, you're in England. I remember where you are. Yeah. You and Warby. I remember your buddy Warby. They used to pick on him because of that TV series. Yeah. Well, there was Warry on on Doctor Who, and then there was Warry on DC Legends of Tomorrow. Yes, there's 2 Warries. I know how you like that. But anyway, the Brits are in a shithole. I mean, what right now, if anybody was to really go over there and start any real shit, they would be, we'd have to immediately send carriers over there. I don't know what we got in the Pacific right now. I know we got a lot of stuff built up because they were talking about they might have to take some to get this war over here going. To keep it going. We got a lot of stuff, but you forget we sell a lot of stuff. We give a lot of stuff like to Ukraine and places like that. So at any given time, our military stuff could be up or down. So we right now, everything's getting boosted. They even a couple of other projects that we're going to extend out like 6 years. Trump had them cut them to 3. Maybe he's worried something's coming. I think Jay and I was talking about that at the beginning of the show. There's a lot of misinformation on the guy. So other than he's a dick and he was with the Guard, there's enough of his leg got fucked up that we're pretty sure that's correct. Now, there are 3 or 4 reports that say he lost that leg, and there's 2 reports that say he's in a coma. We know for sure he did not do the speech. Something else. Well, Jay says AI. It probably was AI. I didn't know. I didn't see it. I just heard it. So it was probably
the Fox was talking about it right before I came down, and they or maybe it was early this afternoon, but they were saying that the message was somehow distinctly AI-ish, and so they had a graphic up that said his new nickname or his new title was Ayatollah.
Yeah, so he's gonna die with his AI.
Well, yeah, but the speculations we don't know, and what the rumors are, and they've started this afternoon, like you said, there's damage to the face or throat.
So the Guard admitted that his leg got tore up in the bombing.
Yeah.
So we know that part's true. Now, since then, there've been reports that he lost a leg and it was damage to his face, and that's why he didn't give the thing. You lose a leg, you're not giving no fucking speech unless you're like Superman. And if you are, you're gonna be on good drugs. You'll be like,
you're gonna be wasted.
And you know what? What was this thing? Oh yeah, man, we're gonna blow you fucking up. Yeah. Why would
if his leg was removed, he's likely under anesthesia for 6 or 7 hours probably, because not only do they have to cut the bad tissue away, they have to seal all the pipes and tubes and things coming out of the good parts. So they have to seal and reroute all his blood vessels and close the wound up with whatever skin they can salvage, so that they can start the process of putting prosthetics on there. Number one, and number two, the rumor about the damage to the face or head. We don't know if he was knocked unconscious, if he's been damaged to the throat. But regardless, if he wasn't hit in the head at all, there's no damage to the face or throat. If you have your leg cut off,
MI6 said he was
under
in it. He was
anesthesia
in
for 7 or 8 hours, you're going to be out of it for at least the next 24 to 36 hours. So he's done.
Yeah, MI6 said
done.
he was in a chemically induced coma.
More than likely, so his leg will heal.
So you're looking at least a week, maybe two. So
or longer.
Who's running the shit? I don't know. And first off, we don't even know who picked this guy. I mean, everybody's dead. Everybody who picked anybody. I mean, they killed the first 40 when they killed him. I mean, that was daddy. And then when they all got to meet, I could not believe, we're going to all get together and meet. Really? You just fucking told us you're dead. The first thing I said when I heard
the first tier of leadership is gone. The second tier is gone. The third tier is gone. What's left over of the mullahs, it's the fourth, the fourth string dudes. These are the dudes that go to the scrimmage and your first stringers beat the living snot out of on the football field. These aren't national players. They're idiots probably, which is why they haven't decided to give up. But unfortunately now, if they do decide to give up, there is no immunity. Trump has, he's dropped the hammer. He said, look, there's no more immunity from this point on. It's all or nothing. You're dead. So they're going to be in this, if that's his goal, and he's going to destroy the entire, whatever's remaining of the military branches and the IRCG. This is not going to be a quick war. And it may require boots on the ground, which will make it longer. It's not pretty.
I say we kill everybody and fucking done.
You want that up on the screen there?
Yeah, you can go ahead and pop it up there. I'm waiting for it to come up. There should go. Okay. Oh, it's gonna skip. All right. Well, guys and girls, before we turn this over and turn it on, let me get out of this bullshit. We're going to be going to break. We're going to put this little song up there for y'all to hear. We may do some promotion. Never know. You might get to hear. You might get to hear another clip or something, or you might get to hear another song, or probably some promos this time around. But anyway, we're going to click this on. I would say you got about 7 or 8 minutes. Enjoy yourself. Go get a snack, get a beer, get a joint. Personally, I'm thinking whiskey snowball right now. Maybe a whiskey sour. Ooh, yeah, good whiskey sour. Maybe some Rip Van Winkle whiskey. Oh man, somebody send me some Rip Van Winkle. I love y'all best. Oh yeah, I'll make Jay have some more alien babies.
Hey Joe, Kiara was asking you to say her name.
Say her name.
So everyone else in the chat room knows how to pronounce it.
I don't even see her name. What the hell? Wait, you know what? Hold on, I'm not even in here. Let me hold on. I gotta go back to the chat.
Go to the studio page.
What is it? Wait, where is your name? I just called you Kiara. I always have since I seen it the first time. Sometimes I often want to. Okay, they didn't pronounce it. Get your ass in there. I'll send you an invite in so you can get in here and tell me, and then I can hear it. Besides, for some reason, that name looks really familiar. Maybe I'm just getting old and forgetting. I probably was saying it right, but now you made me think about it. You see what happens when you make me think about shit? It's your fault. Yeah, that's right. Wait, now I lost. Where'd y'all go? Okay, there you are.
We're over here.
No, I don't know what I clicked. Damn, I'm losing my voice again. I got 2 shows to do tomorrow. Call you Micah. Why would I want to call you Micah? That's just weird. Anyway, we'll be right back. So we're just leaving the E out of her name now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Now you see? No, wait. I'm not going to say that. She might smack me or something. Anyway, guys and girls, we'll be right back. Y'all check out the song. It's pretty reckless. Y'all can check her out for a few minutes, and then something else will pop on the screen. Meanwhile, I'm getting something to drink so I don't lose my voice. So enjoy.
Should these glasses be illegal in the U.S.? Nobody believed me at first, but now everybody wants a pair. My friends roasted me for buying miracle glasses online. They said I got scammed, but then I showed them what they could do.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed that little musical interlude there.
I was just about to put a promo on. You scared the crap out of me there.
No, I was messing around, wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, but I was looking for a particular clip I wanted to play, but I had it. Now it's gone. Yes. Oh no, I've got you mean the baby Trump thing? I've got him visiting Somaliland. He goes visiting the daycare centers in Michigan. Oh, it's funny as hell. Yeah, he's where are the children? It's somebody's having a lot of fun with that. Oh, it's probably gonna make somebody some money. Well, you get paid by clicks. You know, might make somebody some jinga jinga. Okay. Oh, there I am. I'm back now. Okay. Micah James Crosby. Micah James. What the hell kind of name is that? Micah James Crosby. Did your daddy like slap you or something when you was a baby? Micah James Crosby. I don't know. It sounds like your Thanksgiving dinner or something. Yeah, well, fuck you too. But I mean, I'm just saying. Oh. So I just read another report that says it seems like they think that the new Ayatollah is in a coma.
So, but are we don't know, is it induced medically for healing, or is it because he got smacked in the head with a shrapnel and he's a complete vegetable?
It's probably the other one. They're gonna probably keep him behind the scenes and have somebody from the guard putting tapes on. He said to do this, people, or they'll do an AI with him saying.
He mumbled through his anesthesia, kill all America.
Yes, kill the American pigs. Yes, kill them all. Take their women and kill them too. After you rape them, but then kill them. What are you talking about? You don't like white girls. What the fuck kind of statement was that? Well, I don't want to break your heart, but there's a lot of whitey-tighty Iranians, man. Yeah. Maybe just say light brown. How's that? Yeah. Before you get yourself in trouble saying something you should. Russia seems like they're ready to go to war with Europe. Maybe because he knows Trump's being nice to him. I mean, I really have no clue.
Well, Trump may, I don't know, maybe give the appearance of friendliness, but I don't think, if he comes across the border, Trump's going to drop the bomb.
I know it'll be bad. What do you mean, Kirby? Well, no, how you just write white girls because it's white girls that they're going to get you, huh? They're going to get you. What do you mean? And okay, first, y'all motherfuckers need to get in the chat room where I can watch y'all, put y'all up on the screen and read it. Just going back and forth 500 different thousand ways. What are you talking about? Yes, just white people in the Middle East. You're on crack. Yes. So get in the chat room where everybody else can see you. They can tell you're on crack instead of me. Yeah. We're not even getting into that conversation. No, indeed not. No, I don't even care who's the favorite. No, I don't. It's one of the things I don't even care about. All women are fabulous. Yes, all of them. Every one of them. That's right. Everyone. Somebody asked me just today, why do Middle Eastern men hate their women so much, love their mom so much? It's a confusing thing. Why is that?
Yeah, it's a conundrum. I really don't do it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And another thing, particularly with the examples of Sharia law, one of the basis for the hijabs and all the covering up the hair and the ankles and the skin is because women's features are so temptive to men, it makes men rape them. How is that the man's fault? I mean, that's just the stupidest logic I've ever heard.
No, so Gina, a good, actually, an Iranian friend of mine, about a decade ago, he tells me, he said, the problem is women are just the root of all evil, Joe, and they have to be kept down. I'm like, what makes you think that? He said, aren't they the ones that got everybody thrown out of the garden to eat? And I was like, yeah, but isn't the devil a male?
A, and B, wait a minute now. He just asked Adam to eat the apple. He didn't have to. He did it on his own
Oh,
accord.
she was pretty convincing from what I hear, but
Well,
all hanging
you know, if
out,
she went like, no more
undulating
cookie unless
and
you bite
stuff.
this apple, yeah, that's one thing. But
No, James. So they ate the apple, and the next thing they do, they rolled around on the floor and had wild sex because neither knew what sex was until that point. Yes, they didn't have any urges. There was no hormones, I guess. And then all of a sudden there was. Holy crap. How they didn't have like 16 kids is beyond me. Maybe they did. But the two parents don't work. It doesn't work for Lucy out of Africa theory. It doesn't work for Adam and Eve because it takes a bare minimum of 3,600 people to create a population diverse enough to be healthy. That's minimum. And you can tell by our society, it's much higher than that. Whatever our base population was, had to be at least in the millions. Because it seems like, in all fairness, it seems like there was multiple humans on the planet at one time. We know about Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon, and we know about a couple others. And there was probably just others in South America.
we found a couple new ones recently. I mean, what is I heard they call it? It's not Heidelbergensis, but the Hobbit. They call it. There's been another recent one. I don't know its name either, but yeah, I mean, we don't have the full geologic picture. We have a great deal of it, but we're still missing huge chunks, huge chunks of our genetic lineup.
Actually, Michael, I don't think. I think we bred them out. I don't think we killed them out. I think we bred them out.
Combination, actually, more bred out than killed out.
Actually, probably a mix of interbreeding and then created new species each time, and they kept on until the current species or whatever before the current species, whatever it may have been. But it is interesting to follow. But no, that still wouldn't explain Rh negative, so, or O negative for that matter, period. Yeah, because it wasn't in the original genomes and there wasn't nothing new added in. So, well, pretty much the last 20 or 40,000 years, as far as additions to our genome, it's been pretty slack. We've kind of bred everything else out on the planet. It's just us now. Yeah, we're the dominant species now. Maybe one day there will be a dolphin man that comes out and says, with a laser gun. But until such a time, we're the dominant species. We do a piss poor job of taking care of our planet, too, by the way. You know what? When somebody tells me global warming, the first thing they're going to see from me is because global warming is not real. Climate change is real, but global warming is not. Go look at the Antarctic. You don't have to take my word for it. Oh, yeah, go take a look for yourself. It's not shrinking, it's growing. It has been for a while now. And that's even with an active volcano, it's still growing. For me personally, what we have here, where I live in the deep, deep south, we've had a weather slide. I don't know how to explain it. Our weather has like moved over to the east. And whatever was over here on the west came over to where we are now. Yeah, we've had a change in our rainfall. We've had a change in our weather. We've been real lucky. More and more hurricanes are going up the East Coast because of the way it's shifted. So it's been a lot of big benefits. And we've had cooler summers and colder winters. We've actually had 4 or 5 snowfalls in 10 years, which is unheard of for us. It's like once every 10 years. And it's not even really real snow. Usually it's like 2 inches. Can't even make a decent snowman out of it. But now all of a sudden we're getting snow. We're getting up to 1 foot, 2 foot. I mean, that's not the fucking Gulf Coast. What the hell is that? You couldn't even tell the difference between the beach and the snow because they're both white. Yeah. I don't know, but it's weird. And where's Al Gore? Anybody heard from Al Gore lately? Because Al Gore said, what was it, 2006, 2009, 2011, 2012? Man, it was over. All it was going to melt. There's going to be 35 foot of water around the planet. We were going to all fucking drown.
Yeah, I think he's laying a little low on account of that.
He ain't the only one. There's a bunch of people that said that. And Noah got in trouble a couple times for saying that because you knew it wasn't true. First time I heard it, I'm like, no. And you know what's funny about all of this is I remember as a kid in the 70s, all I ever heard was Ice Age is coming back. The Ice Age is coming back. The Ice Age is coming back. The Ice Age is coming back. We're going to have a short thing when the Ice Age is coming back. And then all of a sudden, we got global warming. Okay. And then I realized something through, going to school is that preceding any Ice Age is a global warming period.
Yep.
Well, maybe they were fucking right in the beginning. Maybe it is the Ice Age coming back. I guess it'll shut up.
Global warming, I'm going to go do my part and visit the little boys' room. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's going. What's that, Jackie? Oh, I don't know, man. we're gonna move to Mars, huh? Well, I was listening to Elon and his plans for the moon, and the hardest part to this moon mission seems like is how they're gonna put this rocket on its side. The big one they put on top. Yes, they want to put it on its side. So they're gonna land it, normal, pointing up. The spaceship's gonna be sitting there, and then either through legs or a cushion of some sort, they're gonna lay it on its side. In a lot of places, they're gonna even cover it up with rock and mud and stuff. Yeah, they're gonna do that with a bunch of them and just interconnect them, and then they're gonna have their own little colony. Then underneath that, they're talking about clearing out all underneath it as well. So it's like another floor underneath. Yeah, it'd be naturally cooling. It ought to be interesting. Well, this way, a couple of things good. One, you're not wasting that big cargo ship that's going there. Okay, you're going to land it there. You're going to use it instead of just crashing or throwing it into space. It's going to be there. And it's going to be used, and then you can turn it and you can pull out the engines in the back and the fuel tanks, and double the amount of space it has. It's a lot. So you do a couple of these, you'll have a nice sized colony. And you can really start to grow on Mars. And there's even a place they know of where the sunlight is 97% all the time. It's on some rim of some crater. And that's where they want to put the first base. Yes. Sounds interesting. Sounds doable, too. Well, the only other option is to build pieces and send it up there. Like we did for the space station, basically the same thing. But this way, we'll already have it, so you won't need the pieces. You can just start sending in the equipment. And you can have that along in Starliners. You can have that in there when you're going. Or you can go light on equipment and more people, or light on people and more equipment. Every time you send one up there, you've expanded the size of the colony. Well, some of them probably will be reusable because, Elon can't help himself. He likes bringing stuff home. But for the most part, they're going to stay up there. And it's going to be the same thing for Mars. They're supposed to start sending 2028. They're going to start sending packages to Mars where they want to put this colony. Who wants to go live on Mars? Find out where the UFOs live. It would be my luck. I'll be sitting in my little Martian thing, it's looking out my little Martian window. Here goes a gray walking by. I'd be like, what the? It'll be an interesting place because once we establish a full out moon base. Now remember, the one Elon Musk is building is his. Okay, it does not belong to Uncle Sam. It belongs to Uncle Eli. By that time, will probably be worth $2 or $3 trillion. Yeah, with a T. He's forecast to be the first trillionaire this coming year or the early part of next year. They're forecasting with this new Tesla deal and something else, 1.5 trillion. And if he takes SpaceX into the open market, he may be worth $3 trillion. Come on. Fucking Russia's not worth $3 trillion.
Yeah.
I think they want like 1.9 or some shit. China's only worth 7 or no, I think they're worth 10 right now. We're worth 36 or 38, John. Yeah. Us in Europe are about the same. We control 77% of the global markets, money-wise. Yeah. It forces everybody to have to do business with us. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're the rich oligarchy nations. Yeah. What are you hating? You could be one of the poor little nations that can't even get some popcorn, man. Give me a fucking break. Shut up. Yeah, you're unappreciated of Americans. All I can say. What? Look, even with high price in this country, I still wouldn't want to live anywhere else. No, I got friends in Europe. I got good friends in Europe. I got good friends all over the place. But Canada, no, you couldn't pay me to go to Canada for several reasons. One, it's like living in liberal hell. Two, it's ungodly expensive, like 4 or 5 times what it is here. Plus, you got to pay almost double the taxes. And they got the worst healthcare system anywhere. If you're not rich and have a big fancy healthcare policy, you're screwed. You can wait up months to get it, just an X-ray or an MRI. I mean, oh yeah, they had people with cancer waiting 12 months for. I mean, you're dead. You wait 18 months to get an MRI and you cancer. It's done doubled its size. It's probably now went from stage 1 to stage 3. It's just now. And wait, is it? So I know Canada's got assisted death. How long does it take to do assisted death in Canada? People, anybody know? Where's your books when we need y'all?
Hey Google, how long does it take to get approved assisted death in Canada?
You earth scum bastards. That's something I can't tell you there, Jay.
The process for medical assistance in dying or MAID in Canada generally takes a minimum of about 2 weeks from the initial request to the provision of care, but this can vary a lot based on the individual's situation.
The reason I brought it up is
person must be
the reason I brought it up is the other day. I think it was Amelia. Somebody sent me a you get it done in 24 hours now. Don't hate. I mean, assisted suicide depends on your religious beliefs, I guess. I can understand somebody not wanting to be in pain and be in pain and horrible pain or for other reasons. But I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm not a big fan of suicide for any reason. What do you mean? I'll tell you what, dude. So I'm going to be nice about this. I have a thing called trigeminal neuralgia on this whole side of my face. When it sets off, the amount of pain I'm in is excruciating. There's no pain pill they can give me that actually kicks out the pain. The best they can do is actually give me nerve blockers. And even that is limited to what it can get rid of. And I get the bad kind, but then, I don't have the kind that happens every 10 minutes like other people have. I'm fortunate that mine comes and goes. It's a horrible thing. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It's just a horrible thing. The doctors call it the suicide disease because of how many people that have it commit suicide. Jimmy Lee. The bitch part, you want to know what the really bitch part about the whole thing was? For 10 years, I was going through dentists, getting all kind of dental work done because everybody thought it was a dental problem. And then we found out it's a nerve problem. It's a nerve at the bottom of the inside of your brain where it meets the spine. It's like one of those impossible places to get to. It's a fucking nightmare. It's tough. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's everybody's got their burdens, and that's what I'm saying. What is it? I guess it's whatever it is that pushes you over that line that says, okay, I've had enough. Christopher, I understand that. If you're Christian, you're going to hell. I understand what you're saying. I understand that. And a lot of people won't do it just because of that. Because in all the Christian religions, it's a don't pass go, don't collect $200, go straight to hell. It's not even, you can't even go to purgatory when you commit suicide. It's just straight to hell. Something about wasting a life. A lot of things have changed, but religion hasn't kept up with the times because they can't go around today saying God said, because when you do, people look at it like, oh, really? God's talking to you. Why is God talking to you and not to me? It's a tough thing. So assisted suicide is a tough thing. They tried forever in the United States to get it passed. Remember that doctor that went to jail because he was helping them old people cross over and stuff? I can't remember his name, but yeah, they put him in jail. They didn't murder anybody. Everybody asked him to do it. Walla Walla. Oh no. Oh, I know when you said that one right out of my head. It's comes from The Expanse. That's not exactly how to say it. Yeah, it comes from The Expanse. It's funny because I just started rewatching it. It's been a while since I've seen Expanse. Is okay. They made me watch that Star Trek Academy shit. Jesus.
I stopped watching it at episode 4.
I gotta say, the last episode was better. It was better. The villains in this thing's a way to fuck over the top, though, man. It's like, Jesus, dude, enough is enough. I'd have just shot the fucker. I'd say, I'm sorry. That's the way we did it in the old days. It's just, oops. The actors developed a little bit more in the last. Oh no, the boss lady gave it to two birds. Yeah, sorry. She's like, yeah, and two birds are rough to get by. Well, so Star Trek. Okay, Star Trek and Star Trek. We got two Star Treks right now, which is nice, but still, we have Strange New Worlds, which is just basically Kirk, Pike being Kirk. A little wokeness in it, but all fairness, Gene Roddenberry was a little woke. Yeah, I mean, he believed in awakening the world where he could, but he did it in a different way. It's not like these idiots try to do it. He didn't try to beat you over the head with is what it was. Like the first Black Kiss. There's a couple firsts that Star Trek did that he kind of just slipped in under the belt. Well, things like that, it's less controversial than people accept it easier. When it becomes controversial, people don't want to accept it. It's like they have to fight against it. But anyway, getting back to so Awakening, I keep calling it Awakening, I'm sorry. Star Trek Academy is just, the first 4 episodes are not even worth watching. Other than for character building, they're just not worth watching. You need to watch, I think it's the 5th one, when the little chick who's the, what is she? She's a, not an android, a hologram.
The hologram, yeah.
Yeah, she gets rebuilt and gets a daddy. So you need to be there for that one to help understand it, because her daddy is the doctor from Voyager. Yeah, so the doctor from Voyager's there. He's being his usual asshole.
Holographic entity also, yeah.
Yeah, he's 1,000 years old at this point. And he obviously has had some issues over the years. So he's there, and the Dax is there. One that Jadzia was the Dax for Jadzia, and
it was Jadzia, and then I forget that Jadzia died, and there was another.
But that Dax is at the academy. She has what's his name? Benjamin's son's personal book thing he wrote about his daddy. Don't ask, wasn't even worth watching that episode, but hey, you can watch it. It's a bunch of teenagers. There's a little bit, but there's a bunch of teenagers. And there's a badass Betazoid girl. She's a beast. She will fuck your little world up. Just some kind of fish guy, but he's human most of the time. There's a Klingon that wears a skirt, and I mean a skirt. No, it's not a kilt or anything like that. For anybody has some stupid shit, it's a skirt, and it's such a bad thing that Picard, Kirk, and Michael Dorn had to come out and say something about it. He said Picard was like, "I don't think there's a such thing as a gay Klingon."
Yeah,
and
I don't buy it either.
And it was pretty much the same way. And well, because it's a useless character, and it's worse than that, because then you've got the half Klingon, half Jem'Hadar. Remember, people, there are no Jem'Hadar females. 0.
Yeah. And well, I mean, so the Jem'Hadar male soldier would have had to have raped a Klingon female.
But why? Because they're bred out of a nursery. They're not.
Yeah, I don't know that they're. But I don't know. So it's weird. A and B, but she's also gay.
She's also gay. Yeah, she's a Klingon, Jem'Hadar, who's gay.
Yeah.
That's pushing it, people. I'm just saying.
And it's cross species. She's dating a human.
And she's
or are they
dating
married? Are they married? They're married.
They might be, but they're definitely together. So the one
Yeah.
he's talking about is from Discovery. She was one of the engineers in Discovery. She's gay. She had a cool part. She's kind of funny. So she's okay, but her wifey poo or girlfriend poo is an idiot. And she's a drama queen. For being a Jim Hadar Klingon, she's a fucking drama queen. How can you be a drama queen? It's impossible. Oh, I don't know. And then I had to go watch Generations the other day. Here's Picard with the new doctor having some Lotus Flower Festival eating, drinking tea thing that kills your shit. I mean, yeah, this is a Klingon, man. All right. Even Worf's son, who was a wimp, was still a Klingon. Yeah, I don't know. It sucks. And then don't even get me started on all the new Star Wars bullshit. Star Wars, so it's funny. Star Wars it put a pretty good hard hitting on Star Trek on cash money per movies. But when it comes to series, Star Trek just whoops the fuck out of Marvel. So does DC, by the way, when it comes to TV series.
Yeah, we were
And
actually
DC,
talking about this on Church of Mavis. We were talking about how Marvel Comics had way back when they had the better artwork, but their stories were crap. And DC had the really good story arcs, but their artwork stunk. And then also we were talking about Star Trek as well, how it's gone woke. And our guest said that it's like Al Kirkman and Roberto Orci and those guys at Bad Robot that hate the franchise, and they're trying. I don't know. They're putting stuff in it that's just it's going to whack it. On the Star Wars side, it went a little. It took a dip towards the woke. I think it's making a dip back away from it.
Oh no. Okay, we're gonna get to that, man. One thing at a time. I got to break something down for something, and then I'm gonna tell you. You must have missed out on something when it came to Disney. First off, Jackie, DC is Superman, Batman, like things like that. Yeah, things like that. That's them. That's their claim to fame. And then when it comes to TV series, they've got they got the Green Arrow. They've got DC Legends of Heroes. They've got
Batman and Green Hornet in the 60s.
Yeah, there's Flash, there's Supergirl. So that's all DC, and those are all successful series, by the way. So when you flip over to Marvel just doesn't. I mean, when you flip over to Star Wars, their series just suck.
Well, so but also in defense of both sides, the Flash did get kind of woke towards the last few seasons.
It did. So Andor, the whole entire thing is woke. I'm not even sure if there's a straight character in the whole fucking thing. And so everybody in the future is gay. Give me a break. You know what's funny about this to me in a lot of ways, especially when you're talking about Star Wars. Star Wars was a genetic engineer. They were genetic engineering every fucking thing. You could have been. It didn't matter if you was a Jedi. They were into every fucking thing. So I got a thing, that I'm pretty sure if you were middle class and up, you probably before your baby was born, anything that you considered, not useful or bad, you'd have probably had taken out.
And I suspect that's kind of also that's what kind of happened with Luke and Leia. I think because they were part of a royal family, they probably were given some sort of genetic upgrade or something. Like you said, take the good bad stuff out and put the good stuff in. Because both of them become very powerful force creatures later on.
Well, in 2024, there was a survey done amongst parents of gay children, and they asked them, if you could have had this genetically changed when they were a baby, would you have? 85% said yes. 85%. I didn't think it was going to be that high. I thought it was going to be like 55 or 57. Because they've seen their kids go through a lot of shit. 85% said yes.
Well, I mean, but we'd have to have some sort of device that says, this creature is going to have a female body, but it's going to have, a male directed mind. So I mean, if you could detect that, would you do it? I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, if you could,
Well, no, they can
there are
detect
people who
it
claim
now.
to be that there were a woman trapped in a man's body and vice versa. How do you know?
Well, no,
I don't know how
so
a woman thinks.
So they can take. Well, no, okay. There's certain things in the body that give you predispositions.
Yeah.
So no one's actually born gay, but there are predispositions for this. So if there's triggers in your life, which could be a lot of things, how many gay men come from single families, a mother with no father? It's a big number. It's a big number of people.
Well, but and also some of the interviews with homosexual individuals, it's particularly on the male side. It's daddy was too loving or not loving enough. He was abusive or he wasn't. And then it's also the same thing with the mom. Is either the mom was there or caring and not caring. It's usually one of those factors swings the child to one proclivity or the other, which seems like kind of a forced behavior rather than a choice.
Well, you've got the ones who had overbearing moms with a predisposition. Then you've got the ones who maybe had an uncle or somebody in the family that molested them, and that pushes it over. And then there's just everyday walks in life. And also, a lot of times there's no father involved at all. So
if we go back also 50 years, 100 years, 1920s, 1930s, babies had one kind of baby clothes. It was a dress. Whether you were a boy or a girl, you got a puffy hat with a frilly brim and a dress for your night clothes. There was no distinction, and I don't know when at some point that they started distinguishing male versus female with the clothing, but when you went to bed, almost everybody wore a gown, a dress, a nightgown. Everybody, man, woman, everybody. It's weird.
And then as the 40s and 50s, they went to those PJ things, those silk pajama thingies.
Well, once
they still wear them today. Oh yeah, a lot of people still wear them.
PJs come from India, by the way.
Get off my PJs. So Mark, that's a tough question, but we did a lot of work on this a while back because I had a meeting with the Lesbian Coalition of California. I was actually invited. This was so funny because a friend of mine, Jennifer, who's a host in San Francisco, she's gay, by the way, good friend though. And she invited me to come out because she had heard me speaking about this somewhere else. She said, I'd like you to come out and meet the three heads of the Lesbian Coalition out here in San Francisco and in the county. I'm like, sure. So we do this interview and we start going, and they're telling me all this bullshit about how you're born this way and this, and that, and that thing. I said, okay. I said, are you through now? And she said, yes. Yeah. So let me explain to you why you're gay. She said, well, what you know, you're an old white man from the South. I said, yeah, well, you know what? I'm from New Orleans with one of the largest gay populations in the world. So why don't you sit down and maybe you learn something? I said, just spouting ignorance that you don't understand. So I broke it down before I had the Harvard and Yale study with me. I broke it down, through the sections. I said, this pretty much shows you have to choose to be gay. You, for whatever reason, it could be and I mean, there's literally 100 reasons in this book, but you have to choose. You just don't become gay because you didn't pop out your mother's womb wanting to, play with Smurfs blue parts. This is just sick, Johnny. Why don't you write that? That was just sick. Oh man, I don't even want to know what you're thinking about that. Jesus. I'm even personally against gays. I got gay friends, gay family. Matter of fact, one of my favorite nephews just died, the billionaire. Yeah. I hadn't seen him in a while, but no. He had gotten cancer, got it cured twice, and wouldn't listen to his fucking doctor said, just go sit down in your yacht in the Mediterranean and chill for 6 months and you'll be fine. Oh, he couldn't do it. He had to keep running around acting like an ass. That's how it is sometimes. We'll just say we had a strange relationship. I didn't care that he was gay, though. No, that never bothered me.
Did you say strange or strained?
Strange.
Ah.
None of my gay friends ever bothered me. And when I was young, for some reason, gay guys like to try to pick up on me. My wife used to laugh her ass off because there's a couple of clubs she used to go hang out in. It was like little fat cat clubs. So I'd go to pick her up sometimes. And gay guys all over the place. Oh man, so don't touch me, man. My wife's like, He ain't like that. Y'all don't do that. He might hurt somebody. I'm leaving you alone. All right. Oh, they see that's not fair, Rick. So, so my brother, who I had never met before, okay, he was given up as a baby, him and my twin sister. And I just met him, and so he wanted to go out and go get some drinks. And we were at a place called Metairie, Louisiana. And we were walking down the street because we'd been drinking. We didn't want to drive, and we were close to Fat City, which is a big party area. So we seen this bar called the Four Seasons. So we walked in to get a drink. We sit in the bar, and we drinking. And I feel this hand going down the inside of my thigh, and I said, "Joe, you got to be drunk, man," because it's like 90% guys in there. And I looked down. I looked up at the guy. I said, "Move your hand." So he just looked away and moved his hand. Then he did it again. So I'm gonna tell you this one more time, buddy. If you touch me again, I'm gonna fucking drop you, or you fucking sit. And he did it again, and I stood up and I was not maybe 7, 8 years out of training, but still rock solid out of boot camp. I was like, I dropped this motherfucker, knocked him out cold. My brother stands up. He's like, "What the fuck?" This other guy comes flying across, knocks my brother, and he's knocking my brother. I just punched him in his fucking head. They can knock him out. Next thing I know, he's got these two big motherfuckers, one coming by each trying to drag me to the door. I'm kicking, punching, biting. And then finally we get outside, and I cracked the dude's nose, broke his fucking nose as he threw me down the stairs. And me and my brother, we're covered in blood. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, this is a gay bar. We got AIDS.
Oh, crap.
We was covered in it because, I fucked some people. No, Johnny, fortunately for us, air kills the virus. Yeah, it's
Yeah, there is. However, there's a validated story, and I don't know where it was, but I think it's somewhere on the East Coast. But a flop house or a crack house or some sort of rundown building taken over by drug addicts caught fire, and the firemen, New York City, I think it was, they ran the fire, and as they're clearing the building, one of the firefighters found one gentleman who was in a room that was smoking and fire-filled, and he was trying to shoot up. And the firefighter said, "You got to come with me." And the guy said no, and he took his needle and he stabbed the fireman in the forearm. Well, without thinking, the fireman took his door entry axe and chopped his arm off at the elbow, grabbed the arm, and left the drug addict, who eventually perished in the fire. And the fireman ran down holding his wound and his arm, running down the stairs to the medic area, wherever the medics were. They fixed him up. He survived. He's missing half of his arm. But they tested him, and they tested his arm, and the needle had AIDS. He did not. He just, split-second decision. He saved his life from getting AIDS.
Yeah. Well, Jack, it's not as bad today because AIDS it's not a cure, but it's a control for AIDS.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a cure. It's a control for it. Well, we've talked about this on this show and other shows. They don't want to cure anything.
It's really it's more of a forced remission.
Well, think of it like this. A while back, they came up with a shot for hepatitis C. They cured hepatitis C.
Mm-hmm.
One shot, even if you had it, didn't even matter.
Actually, I think it's a series of shots for hepatitis C, but it is cured. Yes,
it is cured. It's over. Well, it's $96,000 for it. So if you're on any of the government assistance, you can just get it for free. If not, your insurance got to pay for it, hopefully.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get the shot, and you got to do it, and then it's gone. It's over with. And it's first time I've seen it.
Also, you reverse any liver damage you might have gotten from the disease.
It's been a while that we've actually seen somebody come out with a cure that was good, did some good stuff. Hepatitis C was a killer, man. It kills people. Oh, it does kill people, my friend.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find this.
It's manageable, but it will eventually get you.
Well, it's like diabetes. I mean, when you get stage 1 diabetes, it's if you have to manage it, and even managing it correctly. I lost 2 friends to it so far.
Stage 1, you got to be really careful, and I think you have needles. Stage 2, you need to monitor yourself, and it's a little easier, but you still have to have insulin, booster shots nearby, and it's a different animal, but both will kill you.
Yeah, because you can get rid of it too by changing your diet, and make sure you monitor it. Well, most of us is because you just get older and you get fat and you get lazy, and sugar builds up in your body, and happy as amigos. Next thing you got I'm not so much worried about diabetes, but my mom had hypoglycemia, so you never know about that one. It's like
Which is the exact opposite, right? It's an excess of sugar.
Yeah. So it's one of them things. It's crazy. But your body gets old. It needs to be regulated. No, real quick, because I know we're getting short on time here. I always save these for the end, so let me find them.
It's polls.
No, I don't know if there's any polls in this week. This is just the stuff, the links that we post, or not the links, but the descriptions of title. Ow. If I can find what I did with them, or find us, that'll work even better. Okay, there's the edit the thingy. Why am I wearing dark glasses? Cause man, I got in a fight, dude. I got like 2 black eyes. I had to wear them. Whatever. I'd be talking about that shit if that happened. I'd be ranting and raving like a madman. Yeah. And what the hell was I going to do? I forgot what I was going to do.
I don't know. I had to step away for a changing of the kitties. One wanted out and another one wanted in. So
let's see. Oh, that's what I was getting ready to do. Okay, I forgot what I was doing. See? Okay, let's see. Let's get down here. Let's see what we got.
Kira, I can pronounce ketoacidosis, but I could never have spelled it. Good job.
Well, let's see what we got here. So gas prices are going up in the United States. Down here, not fast like it has been for other places. So we're up about 40 cents, 50 cents. I notice everybody else is up at least $1 or more.
Yeah, let me see what we got here. I can't see because the trees have leaves and they're blocking the sign anymore, but Rutter's gas is going to be, where is it? It just said it. There it is.
Well, while he's finding our gas prices,
$3.39. Wow. Yeah,
that's $1 for
that's what it was like towards the beginning of the year.
Ooh, man, we gotta get that down.
Yeah,
Russia says Iran strikes are just beginning in an ominous warning to NATO.
Who said this?
Russia. First off, Russia. If we catch you giving,
how the hell does he know?
Because they're giving them all the spy information.
Missile. Yeah,
they're the ones telling them where all of our stuff's at. They don't have.
Are they giving them missiles too?
I don't know yet. I haven't heard about that, but we're monitoring anything coming and going. So you're gonna have to fly it in there, and it might get shot down because we control the airspace. So right now you can't drive up in a ship because we're gonna stop your ship, and you can't really because everybody said no, we wouldn't do that to China or Russia. Bullshit. We've already seen 3 tankers going to China. 3,
at least 3.
America's season tankers all over the place. Yeah,
I mean, and then didn't England grab a couple?
Yeah, but these are new ones. These are going directly to China. Those other ones are going other places. This is a direct.
But they were still sanctioned oil. So
they were still. What do we got here? China splits with Iran's new leaders. Uh oh. You're losing China. That can't be a good thing. I think she's just a little worried about this guy being too radical. The main reason that Iran's losing traction is because they keep blowing up shit in the Middle East. Leave the Middle East out of it and they'll be fine. They might come even help you. But no, and what was it? Is it Hamas? Which one is the one that was in Israel? Everybody keeps asking why aren't they getting involved in helping the Iranians? Fuck that. They're just now getting where they can show they got arms again. They don't want to get no more fights. They're like, fuck you. We American people said Israel taught us a lesson. You want to get America on our ass too? No, fuck you. And some other Iranian group is like refusing to get involved. They're like, nope, you're on your own, buddy.
Well, yeah, Hamas isn't doing any attacks, but Israel is attacking Hamas installations in Beirut and Lebanon. And I
thought that was the other one. I thought that was who.
No, I think they took out the Houthis. But the Hezbollah, I think they're also hitting.
Because I know they said America said that one of them wasn't getting involved, so it was best just to leave them alone. Whichever one was
Hezbollah has actually been coordinating their missile launches with Iran to try to overwhelm the safety systems over Israel.
But whoever's the one in Palestine isn't doing anything. America said they haven't launched a missile. They haven't done anything.
Hamas, it hasn't launched anything.
They said they're staying out of the fight. They're just.
But they've been taking a powder. I mean, because Israel's still.
Well, they were just showing yesterday how they got new trucks and new weapons and all, but they don't want to get involved because I'm pretty sure when they met the first time, Donald Trump scared the living shit out of them. And I think fighting with Israel is one thing, fighting with the United States a whole motherfucking other thing. He's watching these bombers drop shit on. They don't want to go there. They want to stay out of that. Let's see. Oh, this is a great one here. I think we reported this the other day. A 1,300-pound NASA satellite uncontrollably crashing into Earth.
What ocean is going to hit? Pacific, probably.
Oh, waiting for the thing to come up. Oh no, it said it already hit.
It did.
No, I ain't fucking saying. What the hell is that? What the hell? I have to research it. So who is Ali Jafari, the mastermind who made Iran's defeat impossible? So first off, I read this article. Guys, if you think Iran's defeat's impossible, you need to stop smoking whatever you're smoking. Yeah. Right now, we just fucking around. We got no troops on the ground. We're not even using all that weapon. Think about it. You think about all them planes. We got enough B-52s. We could line them wingtip to wingtip and just carpet bomb the whole motherfucking place. And then just to make it more fun, we could fly in some B-21s, B-22s, and some Lances right behind it just to lay waste to whatever's left of your fucking country. No, that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you a new government and save the people. So what are we going to do with all them haters in their country? I mean, I watched it. I watched a whole square fill up the other day with "We love the new Ayatollah stuff." But
that's the problem that I saw coming before we even did. Well, after we started doing this, rather. Who's the stronger group, or is it the citizens who want a democratic government, or is it the people, the Islamic extremists? Who's going to be more wrong? Is there going to be a civil war that we're going to have to step in and give help to one side or the other? Probably.
Well, if they keep it up and if they bomb the elite guard into nothing, there won't be a civil war. There won't be anybody to have one. But they're talking about bringing the Shah back, or the son of the Shah back. I'm sorry,
the prince. Yeah, I think it's like his.
So
it might be like his grandson of the original Shah.
They're talking about doing that and then establishing it to where it becomes like England. They can be a monarchy, but he's just going to be there in name only, and they'll have democratic governments afterwards. So they're talking about that. So that might actually work, but you're still going to have those crazy Islamics. You're going to have to do something with.
Yes,
they'll have to get a military up pretty big, pretty fast to take those people out. Well, Iran was except for the crazy Shia fucking guy they had running it, it was out way better than it is now. Well, you can go back and look at these countries pre when they were taken over, and you'll see there's a big difference. Way more freedoms. Where are we right here? Where was I? Okay. Government declared emergency catastrophe storm threatens the entire states. Well, it's just the northern states. You fuckwads, get over yourself. It's a couple of little tornadoes. I mean, we had some last night. Just thank God they went past my house. Scientists studied a coffin that fell from the sky. What they discovered inside was perfectly preserved. And it fall from the sky. What was inside of it? That's for tomorrow night.
Yeah. Ooh.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. Oh, aren't we? Since we're teasing tomorrow, aren't we also having a food porn segment?
Oh yes, and we're gonna have some interesting sandwiches. Yeah, not sandwiches, but sandwiches. Well, we got I think 2 different kinds of pizzas. This is a courtesy of Amelia Pisano. She sent them over, and I told her when I talked to her, it was today. I said I'm gonna probably use some. She sends me all kind of food stuff. It's a lot of good stuff. I mean, we talk food and politics. Yeah, that's what we talk in the chat. If anybody was interested. So let's see what else we got here. Okay, we already talked about the tanker collide. Now we follow that sky. That sucks. Explain why hasn't the Houthis, Iran's ally in Yemen, stepped into the war yet? The guy said because they were scared. Literally, that was what he said. They were scared. Everybody said they were willing to fuck with Israel, but not the United States. What happened after we detonated a nuclear bomb in space?
Well, okay, so I think the first bomb blown up in space was done in the 50s. 52, I think, around then. About the same time they were starting the Mercury programs, I believe. And what happened was, I think it blew up over Hawaii in the Pacific and knocked out the power grid.
Yes, they said something about it changed the way that U.S. and Russia thought about war from that point forward. Well, because by launching them up and just using their EMP side, you could pretty much not contaminate a country for the most part and wipe out all their power grid.
Yeah.
Well, regular EMPs, like if you fly over a plane, like we pulse generator EMPs, they're good, but you're not going to wipe out cities with them. You need a serious EMP. You need a nuclear weapon. No, I forgot. There's supposed to be a shielded version of an EMP bomb. I don't know what it's used for. It might be used for taking things out coming into the atmosphere. Well, remember, MERS don't have power once they re-enter the atmosphere. They're falling, basically.
Yeah, unless, like I said, unless they have an advanced, reaction control system to help them maneuver. For the most part, it's ballistic and using aeronautics to guide itself to the target.
Now, maybe if you send it up there and it EMP hit but most of those weapons are shielded anyway. First thing we learned in the Navy is most nuclear weapons are shielded, and a lot of airplanes now are shielded. A lot of even missiles are shielded. Well, they're shielded for two reasons. Not just because of the EMP. They don't want them to hack the fucking missile.
Yeah. Well, same thing with the plane. I mean, some of these planes, autopilots, you could hack with Bluetooth technology.
Yeah. So even though they had Bluetooth when I was in the service, they always made you do hard wire. They probably still do on a lot of things even today. Well, because, how you get hacked? You use Bluetooth. Oh, wait, you didn't hear about the guy who he hacked the FBI and ended up with a bunch of these Epstein files and freaked out and called the FBI and said, take them back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they don't know who he was, but they got on the phone with him and talked to him about it. He wanted him to take him back. What do we got here? We were just talking about this. Oh, wait, here we go. Special forces base struck by swarm of drones amid fear. Russia is helping Iran. Oh, what the fuck like they're not? We're helping the Ukraine. They're going to help Iran.
Yeah, it's a two-edged sword there.
Let's see where we are here. Iran's attack on oil tankers intensify as new supreme leader gives everybody a blowjob. Wait.
Hold on.
Oh, man, that's some bullshit. He kind of looked cute, too. Damn it. We miss out on every damn thing. I have no respect for the man whatsoever, Jack. I would spit in his face if I was in front of him, yes.
Yeah.
No. It's just one of those things. What do we got here? So, who are these people? So these are some physicists accusing NASA of blurring moon photos to hide evidence of non-human technology.
Yes, I agree with that.
Now y'all just starting trouble, man. Come on, ain't nothing on the moon.
There are a lot of weird photos. There's especially one that the horizon's been blacked out because you can see stars, but then you see this weird, jagged, like a cardboard or construction paper cutout. That they're hiding something.
It's where the Nazis went to live, people.
Well, they're allegedly it's a city of skyscrapers.
Let's see. Zelenskyy offers countries assistance to combat Iranian drones. Oh, we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he had already sent a week ago, maybe 10 days ago. Well, I don't know. Hey, Google, how long is the Iran war so far?
14 days.
So on day 8, I think.
The current conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran, which is sometimes called the 2026 Iran conflict, has been ongoing for about 2 weeks.
Thank you.
The most
Hey,
recent
Google,
case
stop.
of the
Technically,
Yeah, so
we're
I
at
think on
15
day
days.
8, though, on day 8, Zelenskyy sent special consultant troops to some of our bases in the Middle East to consult and assist with drone defenses.
Isn't that so sweet? Good thing Joe Biden was being nice to this guy.
Yeah.
Maybe Trump will be nice to him again. Trump just don't like the guy for some reason.
He's kind of a douche.
Yeah. Panicking EU rushes to talks with Tehran over Strait of Hormuz as oil prices explode. So this is the fucked up part about this.
The what you call it, I don't know if it was the Dow or the other, what you call it, but a barrel of gasoline went up to $101 just the other night.
Crude,
So.
Yeah, crude oil at $100, but I've seen that before. But the thing about this is as soon as we stop, it'll go down. But this is what's fucked up about this. We get like 0.1% of oil from the Middle East. Matter of fact, come to find out, we're the Europeans' biggest. We supply European the most oil comes from our country. Yeah. So the thing of it is we don't need it. The Europeans really don't need it because we can offset whatever they lose, which would be about 7%. So why is it really affecting us? We need to come down to these oil companies because it's because no, our ships with our oil is not going through there. There's no reason for us to pay higher insurance wages because you're insuring other ships. Maybe they should get protection, but you shouldn't make us pay for it. So I heard Trump say something about it today about the oil companies. This isn't going to work. You can't hold people robbery because you think something might happen.
Yeah, and well, also he also had to get like special compensations from some, and I don't know which group, but some huge money conglomerate, insurance company or something like that to actually insure some of these tankers going through the Strait of Hormuz right now. And I think it initially was up to 30 billion, and now I think they tapped it down to 20 billion.
None of us, no oil for us goes through the strait. None.
No. I know that. But he had to like get the special dispensations from this insurance company, and I don't know if they're an American company or European company or whatever. But in order to ensure that any ships that came through the Strait of Hormuz that might get destroyed, because they've already sent 2 or 3 full tankers to the bottom with their missile strikes. So, in order to ensure that gasoline, they've got this billionaire company to do that.
Well, where are they sending? They did that in the strait because the strait would be blocked. All you could do is sink one tanker to block it.
The tankers were at port; they weren't moving.
That's different. That's no, Jack. So if they do anything to fuck up the strait anymore, they're gonna have all kind of enemies. We don't have to worry about that. That's them. They're fucking with other people's oils. It's not our one. So that's why the Europeans and us are going to come down tough on the oil companies. If they don't want to start giving us breaks, charge the people you have to, but there's no reason to charge us. There's no more global on this. While there's a conflict, you can't charge a global rate for everybody because it's not affecting everybody.
Yeah, that's
true. No reason for us to be paying any more than we were just a couple of weeks ago because our oil is coming from fucking here.
Yep.
But all it tells you is the companies here are charging us off and ripping us off. Trump should have been, J.D. Vance, a whole bunch of them should be coming down on like a ton of, even the Democrats should be coming down on a bunch of wussies and whine about everything else. What's this one? Oh, scientists uncover a quantum secret that could change space travel forever.
What's the secret? Spit it out.
They may have found faster than light.
What do you mean they may have? I thought we already had it. We talked about that last night, didn't we? Or the other night?
No, we don't have an FTL. As far as I know, there's no working FTL on this planet. Jackie, FTL just means faster than light. When you hear JR refer to FTL, we're talking about a drive system that goes faster than light.
A warp system, space folding device, something, yeah. Well, I mean, but we did talk about this Wednesday night that that there was allegedly we had our hands on one.
We might, but I don't think we actually have it in a ship yet or something.
Oh yeah, no,
we're still working on it. Now there was some articles I read about some new engineering stuff, some new technologies that we had been working backwards on, and also some big articles on what some of the Germans were actually fucking working on before World War II. They were man. If they wouldn't have started a war and it could have just went another 10 years, nobody would have touched them. We'd all be speaking fucking German today.
Yeah, the Houthis project started in, I think, 1917 or 18, something like that.
It was
during World War II or World War I, rather.
They, Jimmy, they were building things that looked like saucers from 1911, I think, up to like 1917 or somewhere up in there. Oh no, they built several things. They built a plane that looked like a saucer. They built a boat that looked like a saucer. They built a tank that looked like a saucer.
They built a plane that looks like a wing, very much like our B-52 wing.
And they were supposed to be able to fly the real saucers more than they could at Roswell, because Roswell should have crashed it. Anyway, moving on. Nazis may have reversed engineered a UFO crash at NATO-partner Serbia admits by. Sorry, it's two different articles. So yeah, NASA said this article says they were working on it. This was a different. This was a whole different article. NATO partner admits buying Chinese missiles.
Oh,
shame on you. After
okay, so bad in one respect, good in another. A NATO partner has weapons. Why don't we get our hands on some of those and figure out a way to knock them out of the sky?
That's right. Let's see what we got here. Two planets collide 11,000 light years from Earth. It's a rare sight to see.
Is there a picture? You got to throw it up.
No picture. Just an article.
That's one thing I hate about some of these articles. They'll say, some great new archaeological find, or there's, there was one I saw today. They found a sunken, I think, pretty historical city. They didn't say what the name of the city was, but it was, I think, in Kazakhstan, and like the far western or far eastern edge of Russia. But there was no pictures. I mean, it's just like clickbait. I mean, it's like, give me a diagram of the archaeological site. Give me a picture of some of the underwater things you found. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Some of this stuff.
Now, Jimmy, we usually do these last, so if people want to check them out, they can. Like this next one, we're going to probably use this one tomorrow on the other show. 15 classified documents we promised aren't made up. That could be interesting. Could be stupid, but it could be interesting. Aliens may have been trying to contact Earth for years, but we're too stupid to hear them. Oh, it doesn't quite say that. It says science claims here's why they're not getting through, because of space weather.
Well, and
I'm not making that shit up. People. That's what it says.
Too. They don't have satellites that they can bounce off, so you kind of have to have direct line of sight.
Because they said all the signals are getting washed into space weather. What are you talking about, Jimmy Lee? Space weather. I mean, you don't know what space weather is?
Two planets, Kira, collided.
Yeah, that's a cool one. When you find it on the backside of the article, I think they got some pictures at it. No, I just don't have the article in here. I'd pull them up for you. I'm just taking a picture of Jay to send to this hot woman. Get him in trouble, that's all. People come knocking on his door. Hey, Jay, Joe said to come by and see. So the lady be like, what? Who, what? Who's that asshole? Wait, what?
Yep.
He's sticking a German Shepherd on somebody. It's always good to let your little German Shepherd cut its teeth on a soft ass. That's a good thing. Good chunk coming right out.
Yeah, it's actually what I have, though, technically no longer, I don't think I'm going to call him a German Shepherd. I think it's an attention hound.
Well, that's today's world. That's not new. Dog stories. Well, okay. One quick one. This is a kind of funny and kind of bad one at the same time. So, I had we were working. I just got out the Navy too. And I had this dog named. I had two of them in the house. I had my friend's dog, which was named was Duchess, but we called her Jackal Hound because she's fucking crazy. Because somebody, when she was like a year old, gave her acid, so the dog was just whacked. And then I had Gator, who was big, tall, 13-inch mouth. He was a Belgium Shepherd cross with something else. He was a monster. Anyway, we left, went to work, and these dogs would be bad. Like one day, they dug their way out of the kitchen through the wall into my living room.
Jeez.
Just dug right through it. One afternoon, we had some hamburgers cooking and macaroni and cheese sitting on the stove. We were doing something. He came back. The dog had ate it all.
Wow.
Really, you just don't want to make it to your next dog incarnation, right? But we used to let them hook them up to the boats and fill the pirogues up with kids, and they would tow them down a levee at warp speed. But anyway, long story short, I'm coming home from work, and both the dogs are in the back bedroom. I'm like, what the hell are they doing back there? And they're making these weird noises. I go back there, and I see the windows open, and there's blood all over the windowsill. I'm like, son of a bitch, somebody tried to break into my house. Come to find out the motherfucker was in the closet still, just gushing out of his asshole. The dog took, the doctor said something like 60 stitches. He just took a chunk out of his ass because the guy tried to turn around to go back out the window, and the dog drug him back in the house, and the guy locked
Oh,
his
God.
He's like, you're not going nowhere until daddy gets home, buddy. His poor buddy probably almost bled to death. Too bad they were in the cell phone back then. Oh, no, Gator was a big dog. I gave him to a friend of mine because I was living in an apartment. It wasn't fair to him. He was too big. Yeah, I mean, his puppies came out twice the size of my chihuahuas. They were fucking puppies, man. Oh, no, he's bigger than a King Corso. No, he was big. Had these big old long legs on. He's a monster. Last time I weighed, he was at 155. He was a beast. And on his hind legs, he was a good foot taller than I was. I was like, motherfucker, dog. As a matter of fact, one of my friends, Gary, thought he was going to be smart, come sneak in the house one day. And he was underneath the coffee table. Just stood up, coffee table on his back, and all. He's going to try to eat Gary with the coffee table on his back. Everybody scrambling to grab this shit off the coffee table. Yeah. I don't know if you don't know what a coffee table is. Where the fuck are you from? Hell, even there, I imagine they got coffee tables. Satan drinks coffee. Who do you think owns Starbucks? Only a Satan could own a Starbucks. Let's just be honest, man. I mean, it's high caffeine, full of sugar and milk, all bad stuff for you, and you drink it and pay the privilege of drinking this shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the heavy cream or whatever cream they're using to make their cream in the soda in their coffees probably gave me a whole bunch of kidney stones because I used to drink Starbucks all the time when I worked at the Great Indoors.
That's what I'm saying. It's bad for you people. Bad for you. I love coffee, but Starbucks coffee is a little different. I was remodeling a job. This guy was making quick story. Guy owned a little club called the Hideout. And he had put 3 video machines in there. In his first year, made $600,000. After 5 years, he was a millionaire just off of 3 video poker machines. So him and his friend decided to open a nice little restaurant, nice place, decent food, had specialty coffees and pretty good lunches and dinners. And he decided he put 3 machines in there. And they were making money hand over fist. So he took the space next to him. And at first he was going to put a cut through. I said, dude, if you could have cut through, they're not going to let you have 3 more machines. So he asked, they said no. So we had to put a universal bathroom in there because it's so small, but he got 3 machines there. Just in his 9 machines, he was making $3 million clear a year. It's not including anything his businesses were doing. I was like, son of a bitch, man. Yeah, and they still make good money. Machines still make good money. Not like they used to, though, but they still make good money.
It's still one of those things though. You had the idea, you kick yourself in the ass for not getting it. My buddy and I, we when I moved back up here from college, we hung out 2-3 days a week at Hooters in Rockville. It's no longer there. They got booted out in a most unpleasant way. But anyway, we would go there every night, 3-4 hours, not every night, but every week, 3-4 nights a week. And we would remark to ourselves, the guys who invented or brought the idea to fruition, just 3 friends in 1983, they graduated high school, they pulled their money and they started a restaurant, I think in Florida, and it took over almost the entire East Coast. And we remarked, why didn't we come up with this idea? This is the same as the guy who invented the bag of dirt. Who would ever think you put bag of dirt and bring it to the hardware store, people would buy bags of dirt that they could easily go to their backyard and dig up for free.
Yeah, well, I like the Pet Rock one. That thing made a lot of money.
Yeah, and there's another example, a perfect example.
Yeah, let's sell some rocks, man. You got a pet rock. I'm like, you a friend of mine.
Well, it wasn't just a rock. You got a cool little box.
Yeah,
you got a cool little certificate of authenticity, and you got a birth certificate.
Yes, it was a rock.
It was a rock.
It was a rock
in a box. with two pieces of
The rock to the
authenticate.
box.
It's not only a
For
rock,
20
but
bucks.
it's alive.
It's $20 rock, man. Wasn't even a good rock. You'd have been better off going to buy one of the machines.
Absolute marketing genius.
Yeah, you would have been better off buying one of the machines that tumbled rocks.
Because you could literally go to for that business. You could literally go to the Home Depot, the Lowe's, whatever home improvement store you have near you, buy a bag of rocks, put them in a box with a certificate and a birth certificate, and boom.
Look at your boy who took his cough syrup full of cocaine and turned it into something we all love and drink. Yeah, Coca-Cola. Where do you think the name Coca comes from? Up until, I forgot when it was. I think it was the 30s, maybe
1903, I think, maybe 1933. It's a number with a 3, I think. But yeah, they took the cocaine out.
Yeah, they figured y'all don't need no cocaine, people. Oh, my aunt's sport was in there in the 60s because they were all.
You want to know the funny thing? The cocaine's still in it. They developed a process by which they take the coca leaves from Colombia, they process it in the brewing process for the Coca-Cola, and it goes through another process where whatever bad effects the cocaine would give you are withdrawn, and then that product is bottled and sent to the stores. That cocaine byproduct they collect and they resell that to the pharmaceutical companies, and then them the second largest provider of medical grade cocaine to the pharmaceutical companies.
Go, people. You mean nobody knows what the ingredients of Coca-Cola is? That fucking thing's locked up in a vault in Atlanta. Nobody's getting in there. Shit. Fort Knox wishes had that fucking vault. He ain't getting in that fucking thing. And then they was messing with somebody and let him in there. And he ran over and got the formula and read it, and it was the formula for Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
The guy's like, well, he said, no, it's not Coca-Cola. Do you think we'd let you around our Coca-Cola formula? No, Jack, it's like the KFC recipe. It's still a secret even today.
Yep, 17 distinct spices.
A lot of
Same thing with Big Mac's Mac sauce. It's essentially what it is and the known ingredients, the secret ingredients are known. It basically what it is it's Russian or Thousand Island dressing, not Russian dressing, Thousand Island dressing. But the difference with Big Mac Thousand Island dressing is that it's the Asian version. They add ginseng and ginkgo or whatever it is, ginkgo biloba or whatever. So it's two G things from herbs. That's the only difference. But they won't, and this bothers me because McDonald's used to have the best honey mustard on the planet. I don't care what you dip it in: French fry, onion ring, chicken nugget, cheeseburger. Absolutely the best honey mustard on the planet. They also have a pretty good ketchup, which I don't think they use. I don't think they use Heinz. I think they actually manufacture their own. It's a little bit thicker than Heinz. But they won't bottle their sauces because they're afraid of the secrets coming out.
Yep.
So what if we know
you
what
the ingredients? You got to put the ingredients on it. Law requires you put the ingredients on. You have to put them on, and it tells you. That's why Cane's, Cane sauce is like that, man. They don't want you to know what kind of sauce that is. I mean, everybody sits there. You can watch people eating Cane's chicken. You meet more people dipping the fries in the chicken.
Well, I mean, I understand their concern, but it's still it's kind of bothersome. My roommate and I, we went through a lot of different restaurants in college. We worked at a lot of different restaurants, Chart House. I worked at a Japanese restaurant. And one night he and I were at the restaurant I worked at, Sakura, and we were having this dish called katsu, K-A-T-S-U. And katsu is strips of steak, pork, fish, sometimes shrimp. And it's panko coated, not tempura coated, but deep fried. And you dip it in a sauce called tonkatsu. Well, my roommate and I, we just were dipping I had steak, I think he got chicken. We're dipping our stuff in this sauce, and we're naming ingredients we think are in this sauce. And then finally we think we have it. I went behind the counter because I worked there. I grabbed the bottle of tonkatsu. We nailed every ingredient on the back of it, including the synthetic things and the salts and all that by the benzosodium, EDTA. We really literally nailed every ingredient but two, and it was ginkgo biloba and ginseng, or no, ginger and ginseng. Excuse me, ginger and ginseng. Those are the two.
Man, you knew it.
And then I went back.
Always in Chinese, man. Ginger.
Wait. Check this out. And then I went back to kitchen and I grabbed a bottle of A1 steak sauce, which is made in America. The tonkatsu sauce is made in Japan. And we compared the ingredients. And what do you know? The tonkatsu sauce was in the exact order of ingredients as A1 steak sauce, except for A1 steak sauce does not have ginger or ginseng.
Yeah.
So tonkatsu sauce is actually Japanese A1.
There y'all go, people. I miss Canes too. It's 30 minutes. Oh, you mean like West Side Story, or West like Westworld? Yes, I know it's two crazy things. No, man, there's not a Canes. I got to go 30 minutes either direction to get to a Canes. Same thing for a Whataburger. I got to go 30 minutes. Jimmy, my favorite hamburger in New Orleans is a Frost Top burger. Yeah, man, they are effing fabulous. Well, Frost Tops were around for a long time. They were drive-ins. But when they started going down, Burger King bought them all. And everywhere you see a Burger King, yeah.
Did you ever have Fuddruckers?
Yeah, we had Fuddruckers. There's still one, not down here anymore, but there's still one.
Yeah, I don't know if they've gone by the wayside or not, but
no, I thought they were still around because a friend of mine told me he ate one.
But I always liked their system. It was kind of in between restaurant, table service and fast food. They didn't have waiters, but you'd walk up to the desk and you'd say, "I want this," and whatever you say you want on your burger, they put it on there. So it was like made to order burgers, but you had to go up to the counter and pick it up and then go take it to your table to eat it. I always thought they had one of the better burgers out there because you make your burger the way you want.
They had a good little ribeye steak sandwich too. Yeah, they were around for a long time, and they were kind of like the beef side of Pancho's, man. Now Pancho's down here was all you can eat. So you went in, pulled up a little flag, little flag up, get your food, get back. That was Italian food. Pancho's, man, Pancho's. Man, they had great enchiladas. Every time a little Italian flag went up, they come by and bring you some more food, whatever you wanted. Yeah, man, we'd go in groups like 10. That poor flag never stayed down. Can you imagine 10, 20-year-old guys in there eating? You eat our way through the place. Oh, no, they had great food. Yeah, they had good prices, too.
You know who's making a comeback? Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant.
I ain't seen Chi-Chi's in a long time. A good friend of mine used to manage one of those.
They folded up shop and went back to they did a Radio Shack. They closed everything but their main wherever they started from. I don't know what city or whatever state, but they consolidated to just the local locations, the first 2 or 3 that ever opened.
And they had the best chimichanga ever. They had a great chimichanga.
Their Mexican food was awesome. We had a mall in Montgomery County called Lake Forest, and there was, when I was youngest there, they had a Mexican restaurant called El Palacio, which eventually left and became I think a hair studio. But when that moved out, Chi-Chi's moved into another part of the same mall. So I mean, I was able to get my Mexican either way. But when they folded up shop, the mall never resold that space, so it was still decorated like Chi-Chi's inside until this day, and they just now knocked it down. They're just now knocking it down.
Crazy asses.
Yeah.
No, Chi-Chi's was pretty set up pretty nice down here, Kirby.
And a good nightlife, good bar.
See, down here you got to watch. You have 3 types of Mexican food. You have what I call the American type, like Taco Bell and shit like that. And then you'll have things like Three Amigos, or just their chains, and they're pretty good Mexican food. Yeah, no, these are different than Del. These are restaurants. Del Taco.
Oh,
like Three Amigos is or Perdos or Avocados. They're all chains and they're all decent sized restaurants. But you also get authentic Mexican down here. There are several restaurants that are authentic, so you're not going to see, like when you go in to order a taco, you're not going to get a ground beef taco. Always going to be shredded beef.
Shredded or pulled beef, yep.
Yeah. So, and there's just differences, and if you're not used to it, it'll kind of weird you out a little bit. I like both. I like Mexican food. I like where I live right now. There's quite a few Mexican restaurants, but what rules down here right now is Chinese food. Chinese and Japanese, because technically Yokomaru's is a Japanese hibachi bar. If you have never eaten at hibachi restaurant, you're missing out. Well, they
But-
come to your table and cook for you, though.
So there's three kinds of table cooking in Japanese restaurant: hibachi, teppanyaki, and I don't know what the other one's called, but it's the Benihana style. So now teppanyaki is like Benihana, but you sit on your knees, and the table has a griddle in the middle, and they cook. The chef also kneels, and they cook in front of you. Teppanyaki is, or not teppanyaki, hibachi is sort of similar, but it's an indoor grill. It's what hibachis are little short, square, rectangular grills. So it's a wood fired or charcoal fired cooking surface with a table around it. So
They use these special black charcoals for.
Yeah,
and then they got the other one,
and then you have the Benihana style, which is a regular sit down table with the same as a teppanyaki, where you have a flat griddle in the middle, and he does all the things where they throw the shrimp and they catch the tail on the hatch and they throw things in your pockets. It's an experience rather than a gourmet meal.
Yeah, they got good foods. I've eaten several of them, but
the food's good, yeah, but it's not like a sit down gourmet restaurant. It's an experience. It's like entertainment. It's especially Benihana's.
You got to watch in Atlanta because they do really high end. So you'll go in thinking it's just a regular hug. You get in and they're always really nice inside. Food's always really good too, and there's always a show going on. Somebody's whatever you order to cook, because everything's cooked at the tables, whatever it is. So there's always gonna be a little show. There's always gonna be, the cook's gonna be a good cook. And what's nice about that is too, you're talking to them, so you're getting what you want in the food. So there's nothing to be said with going to a good Chinese restaurant and just pigging out. Get a big thing of rice, get a big thing of mushu, get some shrimp and lobster sauce. There's all kind of good stuff in Chinese restaurants. I like spring rolls. I like egg rolls. I like egg drop soup. What's those? Shrimp ragu, crab ragoon. I love crab ragoon.
But egg drop soup for a while was also like off the menu a lot because they found people were getting sick from it, because it's the way you make egg drop soup is it's basically like a raw egg that's just dropped into the hot soup at the last second.
Yeah, well, not in the restaurants. In restaurants, they make them. It's made like in a batch, a big batch, and they ladle it.
Well,
out.
no, I know they had to eventually because I think people were getting sick because the restaurants were doing it. Like they're just basically cracking a raw egg over hot soup.
Yeah. Yeah, crab ragoon is one of my favorites, girl. I gotta tell you, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Now, Chinese restaurants are all over around here, and DoorDash will bring you anything. But see, that's why I miss Cane's, because going to Cane's, I used to pick up Cane's on the way home from New Orleans, and still it was 20 minutes before I got home. But I'd throw it on the floor or turn the heater on or something. And at least I actually buy 3 boxes because I'd eat one on the way home because I wanted it fresh. Cane's got good chicken. It's not it's funny about Cane's. When very first Cane's I went in, and 3 chicken fingers were this wide, and this long. Today they're this long and this wide. Oh yeah.
Well, if you remember,
and
back in the day, the Big Mac was huge. It's shrunk. The chicken nuggets have shrunk. The Big Mac, not Big Mac, but McDonald's has a new burger called the Big Arch or the Arch Deluxe, which is like it's freaking huge.
Did you see a commercial on that when the CEO bit into that thing and went?
Oh yeah.
It was fucking fabulous, man.
They were making fun of him on the news.
Oh, that was fabulous, man. I said, well, I can eat one of them things now. Fuck that. And the special sauce is ketchup and something else. I'm not a big ketchup.
Yeah, it was weird and it was kind of crunchy. I tried one, but I couldn't eat the whole thing in one sitting. It was a 2-part meal.
Yeah. See, anything with ketchup, it's coming off immediately. The only thing I like ketchup on is French fries and maybe a hot dog. Even on a hot dog, I usually prefer just chili cheese and onions. It's give me my favorite condiment. It's gonna probably be mayonnaise. It's gonna probably be Duke's at that. I like mustard. I like all kind of mustards. Ketchup, I don't know. What it was when I was a kid? They used to just smother hamburgers in ketchup. And I was raised in a family where you wanted to taste the meat. My dad, when we bought steaks or ground meat, he wanted you to taste it. So I grew up like that. So when it's piled down with shit, you can't taste it. Oh yeah, a steak. So my favorite steak, I shouldn't even tell you that, is a salt and pepper on a grill. Nothing fancy. Ribeye, salt and pepper on a grill, because the flame kisses enough, adds enough flavor. Well, no, I can make a good garlic butter steak. I can make all kinds of steak.
It's amazing how many people ruin things by adding too much stuff. I mean, one of my friends put up a thing about, you know, what's good to, you know, what's the best topping for mashed potatoes or something to that effect. And I wrote, butter is the only acceptable gravy, and salt and pepper. But if you, while you're making the potatoes, it's okay to put in mascarpone cheese and Philadelphia cream cheese. It makes them go longer and it makes them nice and fluffy.
Yeah, there's stuff you can add in.
But
I
don't ever put gravy. It's only just melted butter. Why put animal fat on top of it?
We're getting in too much, but we're going to talk about some homemade mac and cheese tomorrow too. But we're going to get out of here, guys and girls. So
yum.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. I hope y'all got through most of the news with us tonight. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, we do. We'll go in between news. Yeah, we can do all news the first hour, and then it'll be all goofy stuff. Now we like to mix it all together. So when you go and come and listen, and that's what reruns are for. So you can just go fast forward. On that note, good night and stay tuned for God knows who's coming on next. Good night, everybody. I have not a clue. I'd be lying if I gave anybody's name out.